All right, looks like it's 7. Let's go. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. I've got plans for tonight, but first I need to actually like clear out some sort of mixing cup for pouring resin. I've got plans for like a couple of different sets of dice. One of them is a commission, one of them is kind of like a lead up to a commission. It's not actually a set of commission dice, but I'm doing it as kind of an example. But also I'm just going to make a full set of dice because I figure, you know, I can just have dice that I could add. Hello! How are you doing, Omar? I'm cleaning out a mixing cup here, hopefully, that is full of little specks of resin. What are you up to today? You're good. Glad to hear that. I'm trying to think of... So I have, like I said, I have 2 different sets of dice planned. I have a couple that I need to finish filling in. I'm thinking maybe doing a set of either D6s or fate dice. I'm not sure what I want to do for that yet. So I'm open to ideas there. I'm debating if I want to... Oh, okay, have fun. Yeah, no worries if you can't hang out here. Have fun with your friend. Yeah, I'm debating what I want to do for maybe a set of fate dice or a set of D6s. I was debating kind of maybe doing something similar to one of the sets of the 7-piece sets of dice that I have planned. But we'll see. I might do something similar. Oh, you're just on Discord. Ah, okay. I guess that kind of makes sense. Things are starting to open up a little bit, which is nice. I actually, now that we're all vaccinated, I actually went over to a friend's house for dinner the other night, and it was nice. It was good actually getting to see people again. Yeah, that same friend, we're gonna go over to celebrate his roommate's birthday on Friday, which is gonna be fun. Ah, you have the stream, but I see. I was a little confused why you were watching the stream while also hanging out with a friend, but at the same time, I've been in like those friend groups, or you know, I've had those friends where we just kind of like hang out in the same space, and you know, one person's maybe listening to music and working on something, and someone else is reading a book, and you know, there's something nice about that too. So I wasn't sure if it was like one of those situations, because you know, that can be nice too. Oh my gosh, Fitz! He wants me to come out there with him, I think. I let him in here a moment ago, but now he's screaming outside the door. I think he probably wants me to let him outside, or to come pet him while he eats food. Those are his 2 favorite pastimes. Either being outside or having me come pet him while he eats food. He's a very social cat. Like, you know, my cats are friendly with me, but Fitz is friendly with everyone. Like, you know, people talk about, like, cats don't greet you at the door when you come home, and I'm like, yeah, they do. My cats do greet me at the door when I come home. Especially when I was working all day in an office. Like, when I got home at lunch or when I got home in the evening, like, they met me at the door and wanted all the attention. But Fitz will meet anybody at the door. Fitz is just excited to see people. He's a funny cat. He's also scratching at the door now. Do you want to come in for a moment, buddy? I'm gonna have a short cat break right at the beginning of the stream and say hello to the kitty cat. Alright, just a second here. Alright, here. We can say hello to the kitty cat. We'll see if he wants to come in. What's up, buddy? Oh, come here. Come here. No? You want to come in? Say hello to people? Come here. I'm not following you. Come here. Oh. There we go. I'm not coming out with you, but you can come say hello to people. Come get cat hair everywhere, because I know you want to. There he is. Are you here to spread cat hair amongst everything? you purring. Oh, he's purring. Yes, he's a he's a very friendly cat. Like, he's just so friendly. He's made friends with like one of the neighborhood cats too, and they just like hang out on the back patio together. It's very cute. Like, he's so not territorial, and he just wants to play with everybody. He wants us to come play tag with him in the backyard all the time. Oh, he's purring. I want to go set him out, but he's purring now. Okay, buddy, you're going out. You're going out. Have fun. All right, bye-bye. Have fun. Yeah. I think my favorite thing was when, well, back when my friend's child was like 2, and it's been, you know, more than a year now. Like, my friend's 2-year-old at the time was just chasing him around the house, and he was just like, yeah, someone's playing with me. Like, he was just walking along as like a 2-year-old chased him, and he was so happy about it. It's like, you're a very strange cat, you know that? I feel like most cats would not be excited about a 2-year-old chasing them. But he's so friendly. He's so friendly. All right, so plans for tonight. Let me go over plans. So first set of dice is going to be a commission set, and the commission is for a set of blue, purple, and a little bit of red dice with like kind of a spacey theme. And so I have like a little moon that I cut out of some holographic paper. And then so that's going to go in the D20, and then we're going to put some like silver stars into the other dice, as well as some just holographic glitter. So I have, these are the colors I decided to go with. I thought it was kind of fun to have some translucent and some opaque, so I have like a shimmery purple, and then these two will be translucent. And it's going to be mostly the blue and the purple, and then just like a little bit of red. Because I think we might end up inking these in red too, because apparently the person wants mostly blue and purple and just a little bit of red. So I think having that one translucent is going to kind of blend in a little bit. We'll have mostly the blue and the purple. Mostly the blue and the purple. So that should be, it'll be kind of similar to a design that I did once before. The next set, like I said, it's not really for a commission, but it's kind of like preemptive to a commission. I'm not actually working on that set of dice yet. That set of dice is going to include a bunch of different charms in it. I have some little skulls and some fish bones and stuff there. And then with that, the idea is to have a bunch of like plants with it. And so I'm going to try and make some dice that have like some sort of green resin, and then have some sort of plants with it. I'm not quite sure exactly what sort of plants I want to do or design or anything. So these are going to be kind of an experiment a little bit to figure out kind of a design and which plants and all that sort of stuff. But I do think I want to use moss at the very least. And then the person said green resin. So I have kind of 3 main options here. Just put these like this so we can look at them all. I have kind of 3 main options here. I've done a set before that had moss, and then this moss, that's the color of this ink in it, and it looked nice. It looks almost more yellow, I think, on... It is a very kind of yellowish color. It looks almost more yellow on camera, though, I think. But I'm kind of leaning towards... Oh, I have to think on this. So, the thing is, like I said, these are going to have little metal charms in them. So, I did a set at one point that had green resin and this kind of moss in it, this kind of moss in it. And then it had pink glow-in-the-dark butterflies, like little glow-in-the-dark butterfly glitters. It was these little butterflies, and then some kind of light pink flowers, sort of. And for those, the light pink butterflies and the light pink flowers I did in clear resin. So the very, very top of the die actually had clear resin, and then where the moss was, for the most part, had the green. And I'm debating whether that would work the best for this, so that the color of the charms doesn't get lost. That's my thought there. I'm wondering whether I should do kind of a clear resin on one end, or if I should do completely green. And if I do completely green, if I should do like a really, really light green. I'm kind of feeling this green. I'm just debating what's going to work with the charms the best. What's gonna work with the charms the best? Some of these are really cool, by the way. I didn't actually order these. The person that's getting the commission did, but like, look at this heart. Isn't that cool? Isn't that a cool charm? Still waiting on, I think, one more type of charm so we can make the actual dice. But yeah, I guess these are kind of this is kind of an experiment. So I could do all 3 different colors of green and try different things. That might be the way to go. Like I said, I'm doing this as, I'm doing a full set because I figured might as well do a whole set of dice. But this is also an experiment. So maybe I will do all 3 different colors of green to see which one I like the best. And then do all 3 with part of it clear, maybe too. And then, also I have my singular D2 mold here. Actually, no, this is my first D2 mold. I have one more that is in the pressure pot right this second. So we're probably gonna take stuff out of the pressure pot at some point here too. I did that. I put stuff in this morning, so I was leaving it in there for as long as possible. It technically only takes 4 hours for those to cure, but it still seems kind of soft after 4 hours, so I want to give it a little bit longer. Usually I leave it overnight, but I do need the pressure pot so that we can actually do resin stuff. And also I want one of those molds to redo this die that didn't quite turn out. There we go. I want to do that blank insert in there again. I had to sand it down a little bit more. This one that's in here is a little bit too big, and so it didn't sit quite right, which is unfortunate. So I sanded that down to be a little bit smaller, made a new mold. So hopefully I can make the correct size of that this time and paint it and get that done. I'm so close to being done with that set of dice. I did redo the D20 in this set, which is maybe a little bit unfortunate. I liked the red in the other one. It had a little bit more red than this one. This one has a little bit less red. But for some reason, the purple in the other one that I did, down here. Yeah. So here's the original one I did. And this is kind of off topic, but here's the original one I did. It has a lot more red. But for some reason, the purple pigment in there all clumped up and it doesn't go all swirly. I don't know why. So I used a different purple pigment this time, because I think it must be the purple pigment that I used, because where did I throw that? I went and looked at some other liquid core dice that I made at the same time. I looked at like a different liquid core that I made at the same time. Where did that go? Oh, here it is. It's hiding up behind my alcohol. My rubbing alcohol. So I went and looked at like a different liquid core that I made at the same time, and it worked just fine. So I think it must have been the mica that I used in here, which I think was this one. And so I used a different one for this, which is maybe not quite as dark, but it seems to be a lot shinier and swirlier. So I feel like that's a good sign. I'll need to message the person though and just let them know. I haven't actually done that yet. I pulled these out pretty recently. I was waiting to get these done though before I actually did that, and I was just gonna send all sorts of photos at once. But yeah, so this set's coming along. This set's coming along. I have other things over here that I'm working on too, but yes, I have a D2 mold now, which is very exciting to me. Okay, so for these mossy ones, like I said, I kind of want to try all three colors. I'm kind of debating on the design I kind of want to go with too, because I'm not sure how I want to put things in here with the charms once I have those in here too. I was kind of imagining all of the plants kind of on one side with like the charm kind of in the middle. That's kind of my thought. Let me pull out the D6. The D6 is kind of the easiest to work in just because it has the biggest opening in comparison to the size of the die, other than like the regular D4. I have a different kind of D4. I guess the D2, but that one's a little flat. So I think the D6 is going to be the easiest to mess around with. I got a couple of different kinds of moss here. And then we had talked about doing some little tiny flowers. I don't know if there's a certain kind of color or something that the person wants. Let me pull out my little tiny flowers here. We can move these back out of the way so we can kind of look at this together. All right. Ooh. Try not to put that on my keyboard too much. Okay. So we've got, this is my box of things that I have dried and collected myself. For the most part, there's a couple things in here that I got from elsewhere, but you know, there's some bugs here that either I found dead on the sidewalk or a cat brought me. Like, there's a moth. There's a moth. It's mostly plants in here though that I picked up from around my yard and then dried. Let me think about this here. So the person wants just some different foliage and stuff. So maybe some of these. I'm thinking maybe some kind of neutral colors, just so that it's mostly focused on the charms once we get there. But you know, maybe some little tiny flowers. We'll break those apart. Use those kind of individually. Maybe some of these. These are also kind of small flowers we can break apart and use individually. Same with those. Those are kind of dark, but you know, I like these leaves. I think that we could maybe use some of these leaves that are kind of in little small clusters. There's actually some in here already that are kind of broken apart. We might just try and steal some of those. Let me find a little container here to put some of this stuff in. Yeah. I'm just gonna grab a little mixing cup here. I'm gonna put some of the little tiny bits of leaves and stuff in here. Oops, where did that go? I don't think I actually got that picked up. I'll show you what I'm picking up right now. Just little tiny bits of leaves. Because of how small dice are, you know, everything's kind of at a little tiny scale. So it works out well for stuff like this. And I have just little tiny clumps of leaves. Things don't have to be ginormous. It'll get off my tweezers. Oh, I think there's silicone on my tweezers, so they're a little sticky. can actually get everything out of here. And I actually have I have kind of like a little miscellaneous junk, what would you call this, cubicle over here in the corner that just kind of has all sorts of like individual petals and broken pieces of leaves and stuff that have fallen off. And that'll be perfect for pulling out some of those little tiny individual flowers and blades of grass and that sort of stuff. I think that's the stuff that we actually really want. It's all of that little tiny foliage. Just some little tiny foliage. Single tiny leaves. Little tiny flowers. Little tiny flowers. I'm just gonna pull those out of here. That's really what I'm getting here. There's some individual blades of grass and that sort of stuff in here too, like, you know, just little stems from flowers. And not all of that stuff I'll want to use for this. Okay, let me set these off to the side so that I don't crush them with my arm. So I'm going back and forth. Set that there. Might be a little bit easier for you guys to follow along with what I'm doing. Just looking for the littlest, tiniest pieces of things. I know I'm saying the same thing over and over again, but I try not to make, I've talked about this before too. Like, if I'm watching a stream quite often, there's two kind of main reasons that I watch a stream, and that's either to just like put something on in the background and listen to it, or to interact with the person who's streaming. Sometimes both. Sometimes both. Those are the streams that I usually like, are the ones where I can do both. But I usually try to have something going on that you can just listen to instead of, you know, having to try and watch it. Because, like, I watch a lot of stuff. It's mostly YouTube videos, I'll be honest here. I watch a lot of stuff while I'm, like, working on art projects or work, or I guess art projects and work is the same thing now. But I put on a lot of things to listen to while I'm working on other stuff. And I figure a lot of other people do that too. And I, like, man, you know, I really just need to figure out, I need to, like, do more stuff so that I have more to talk about, though. That's the main thing. I think everyone's kind of stuck inside at the moment and doesn't have much going on. I was talking to my grandma yesterday, I think it was. And she was talking about how she was talking to some friends, and, like, they've all been inside for the past year and a half, and so they're just like, what's new with you? And it's like, nothing, what's new with you? Everyone's like that a little bit. I wonder if maybe some things will get a little bit more exciting once I can actually go outside and do things. Oh, I guess, most recent thing, I can't remember if I talked about this on stream or not. I went and did some more commercial stuff. That sounds kind of weird. I did a local commercial like more than a year ago, something like that. And then I got a message out of the blue from the same group saying, hey, I know this is short notice, but would you be available to go do be in some photos for a different location, but for the same kind of group? Would you be available in like 2 days to go do that? And you know, after and since I have a flexible schedule, I could. And I found out that it had to do with like people's schedules, kind of like they wanted to get photographs, and then some part of it wasn't going to be open after a certain amount of time, and then the photographer was only available until a certain amount of time, and so it was the only time that they could find. But I was just like, yeah, sure. So I went and did that. And it was fun. It was a small group of people. We were all vaccinated. And we just went and did some photos for like a local redevelopment project. That's really what it was. But then I got a message from the same guy that was kind of organizing everything again, saying, hey, the photographer really liked working with you. Would you be willing to go do some more stuff, like, a little bit later? And I'm like, sure, that sounds great. Like, I like doing stuff like that. I'm getting paid for it, which is nice. So I apparently now have a side gig as a model, which is funny. It's really not like traditional modeling type stuff, but it's, I guess maybe it is. It's, you know, doing photos that are supposed to look natural for a local redevelopment project is going on that they need people sitting at the park for. It's funny, so like I said, I did this a little bit more than a year ago too. And I did a local commercial, and then they also tagged some other photos for like it's like an area that has some food trucks and stuff. And I finally went and looked up the one that I'd done the photos for. I'd seen the commercials, but I finally went and looked up the website for the area that I had been in photos for. And it's so funny, like, knowing how the sausage is made when it comes to stuff like that, because you look at the photos and you're just like, okay, yeah, it's people sitting around having a good time, eating food at the food truck, ordering stuff. But, like, having been there, everything was staged. It's like, you know, I mean, to be fair, they did actually give us food from the food trucks. Like, I'm like, sweet, free food. But, and it was a good time. We did actually, like, kind of sit around at tables just chatting with folks while people took photos. But at the same time, you know, it says people enjoy the food trucks or whatever. It's like, yeah, we were paid to be there. We were told, hey, could you three sit here, angle a little bit more this way, that sort of stuff. And it's, I don't know, I like knowing stuff like that. It's just really amusing to me. All of the little, like, behind the scenes stuff. It's like, well, I talked about this, I don't know if it was last week or when. I was talking about how being on camera in general, like, even just for streaming, something like that, is a bit like having your photo taken while knowing that your photo is being taken, but trying to act like you don't know that the photo is being taken. And it gets more and more comfortable as you do it more, but it's very much that too. That was, the modeling, I guess, thing that I did recently that then they asked for me again. It was very much a, okay, now look at each other and laugh type thing. Like, it's so funny looking at just, like, acting and stuff out of context, because it's so awkward out of context. Like, in the context of the photographs that I'm sure are gonna, come out of this, the photographs will probably be great. They'll just look super natural. It'll be like two gals hanging out at the park, splashing in the stream kind of thing. But it's very much a, okay, now turn to each other and laugh. Great, now can you kick your feet in the water towards me? Like, it's so staged. And it's just, I don't know, it's just funny. It's just funny. Alright, let's see here. I don't know how many, and I'll show you here's my container of little plant pieces. The idea, I think, is it's going to be mostly kind of moss in there, and then we'll add some of this. I think I will probably add a little bit more too. A little bit more than this as well. But I think that's a good little beginning for that. I'm trying not to go too complicated, because that wasn't really the plan with these dice. I wasn't really planning to go too complicated. Not too placing everything too specifically. I just want things to be in there so that the charms will stand out once we get the charms in there. I can't get no. Alright. Where's this flower? I think that's good. I think that's good. Let me get these feathers away. Feathers away! Come on. I don't know why I have these feathers in here. They just kind of get in the way a bit. Oh well. Satisfaction. Let me get this out of the way. So, let me pull out my 3 different greens here. There's our 3 different green inks. Got our plants. I've got our moss. I do want to think again about how I want to do. I think, so there's kind of 2 ways I'm thinking about doing this. So I want the green, I want it so that I can see the little charms that are going to be going in with the plants. I want to be able to see the plants, I want to be able to see the charms. So either I could do it so that the charms are not actually in the green resin. So, you know, it'd be like clear around where the charms are. Or I do the green really, really light. I think I really should just pick one green. I think I want to pick just one green and do it really, really light. But do I want to do a more vibrant green or a more yellowish green? I think I'm really between these 2. This one's a little kind of more yellow. This one's called moss, and this one's a little bit, I don't know what, maybe a little bit warmer. It's called mojito. And it's really, I have done moss before with moss, and it looked good. But the mojito, I think we're gonna go with moss. And I'm saying that because I think it will kind of blend in with the flowers a little bit more and make the charms pop a little bit more. That's my thought process there. But I think we're gonna do it very, very light. We're gonna do a very, very light green. We're gonna do the whole thing green, but we're gonna do a very, very light green. But I think I am going to put a little bit of moss and the plants and stuff in the bottom of all of these. I'm not going to go super complicated with it because it's not really a plan here. I'm just going to kind of put some stuff in there and hope for the best. I do have this with the highest numbers on the top just because I figure things will hopefully kind of rest at the bottom. That was the idea anyways. I figured the plants would end up being at the bottom, charms would be at the middle, and that way if you roll and the highest numbers on top, you can see everything the best. I'm gonna start, I think, with a little bit of this moss. This is a very kind of small moss. I'm just gonna kind of put some of this in all of these. Yeah. And like I said, I'm not going for anything super specific. And I'm going to do kind of a mix of things, so some of these can have more, some of these can have less. Put a little bit of this moss here. I'm going to do some bigger pieces there. Do that in there. Because I'm going to put some other types of moss and stuff in here as well. And that can kind of go in the corner. Yeah, I'm just going for it. You know, I'm just going to go for it. I could sit here and waffle about this all evening, but I think I just need to make something. That's something I do often, is just sit here and go, I don't know. And then really, to be fair, even once I do end up making something I still don't really know, I might as well just go for it. That's something that I have a problem with. Just in everything, it's just being confident in picking a direction and then actually going for it. I don't know, because honestly, If it doesn't work out, great, that's fine. It's just dice. It's not gonna hurt anything. It's not even setting me back on a commission or anything. It's just dice. Let's add a little bit more to this one. Like I said, I'm kind of adding different amounts to each die. I have a couple of different kinds of moss we're going to add in there as well. This one. I'll show you this one as well. This one's just seems kind of spiky to me. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it other than that. It just seems kind of spiky. It reminds me of like a plant that I would step on in my yard and then have hurt my feet. Which maybe isn't a great thing, but that's what it reminds me of. Alright, just a little bit in the D20, not a ton, but that's okay. Like I said, different amounts in each. I am, I guess, adding these in the same order, but that's doesn't really matter too much. Actually, it might help tie things together if I add them all in the same order, so it works out. A few more here. And we're going to add this bigger piece to the D8 because it doesn't have very much in it yet, but let's add a little tiny bit to this D10 that has quite a bit of that other kind of moss in it. Alright. This one could use a little bit more. This one doesn't have very much stuff in it. Alright. D6. Just kind of putting that in the corner. D4. And then I'm doing the D2 as well. I'm starting to do like the D2s with my sets. I only have like this one mold. I have a second one that's in the pressure pot right now that I need to pull out. And I will pull that out at some point here because I actually want to, you know, use at least one of the molds that's in there tonight. But I'm starting to use this D2 as well. My goal is to start doing D2s with all of my sets. Here, I did another one. Here, I'll show you my most recent one. I did another set of my Nightlife dice, which uses some like recycled resin that I cut up into pieces. Oh, it doesn't really want to show it. See if I can get it to focus. There we go. I cut up a bunch of resin scraps and then mix it with a whole bunch of glitter and foil and stuff. But I made a set the other night, and I made a D2 to go with it too, because I thought that was fun. So now I just have to sand these and polish them and stuff. But now I have 2 sets made that have the D2s with them. It's gonna be a slow transition. A slow transition to having a D2 with all of my sets, but that's okay. All right. Let's add a little bit of this. Actually, here I have some little tiny pieces down here. Let's use those first. Grab some of the little tiny pieces of this lighter green and darker green. Kind of, I don't know what kind of moss this is, but it's just kind of bigger. There we go. I'll put those in there as well. So let's see, what time is it? It's almost 8. Let me think about this. So I think probably we could, once I get all of the moss and everything into these, I think we'll pull things out of the pressure pot and get some things, get our molds unmolded. Some of them at the very least, not all of them, but start getting some things, getting the molds that I wanted to use tonight. thing that I've been thinking about, so with orders, okay, with my normal like pre-made sets are slightly different from my commission sets, and that's really because like the commission listing and stuff I have set up, and it hasn't really changed much. I've changed it a little bit, but not too much, as you know what I've made has changed. So like commissions, I still use the regular triangle pyramid D4, whereas with my pre-made sets I've started moving towards a little crystal D4 and that sort of stuff. And I've debated changing my commissions over to either, you know, give you an option for either the triangle or the crystal D4. But, you know, part of what I do at the moment is, you know, it comes with a pyramid D4, and then, you know, if you get a commission, I usually throw in a keychain and a little crystal D4 that uses the leftover resin from your set of dice. Just because, you know, it's nice to have some sort of spare mold to put extra resin in, and it works out that, you know, you get an extra die and you get a keychain. Now that I have the D2 mold, or the little coin with my logo on it, I'm kind of rethinking what should come with my commissions. Like, should my commissions come with the D2? Or should I do a D2 in place of the crystal D4 as like a little bonus thing? You know, use that as a dump mold instead. You know, put extra resin in that and use that. Or should I, you know, I'm basically trying to decide what should come as a commission set, and then what should I throw in as an extra on a commission set. Because at the moment, you get a 7-piece set of dice. That's what comes with it. It has a pyramid D4. And then thrown in is a crystal D4 and a keychain. And those are going to be random designs, just with, you know, the extra resin from, you know, whatever your commission was. But, you know, now I have a new option here that I'm not sure if I want it to be like included or an extra or even part of it with the D2. I'm not sure. I was thinking about this the other day, and I was thinking that it could be cool to just take the D2 and turn that into a keychain, or do that in place of a keychain. So now you would get a D2 and a D4 as like a bonus thing. But, because I don't know, like some people like keychains. I'm not really a big keychain person, I guess. I wasn't sure. I'm not sure if people use those too much. Maybe I'll put out a poll or something, or I'll ask the Discord, see if they have any insight on that. People would rather get like a bonus D2 or a bonus keychain, but maybe I'll start doing a bonus D2 in place of a bonus keychain. I don't know. I don't know what people would prefer. Oh, and like I said, on the other hand, I could just add the D2 as part of my as part of the commission. So I don't know. Alright. I kind of think that having the D2 as a bonus thing might be kind of nice. I think maybe, you know, maybe I will start doing, maybe I'll start doing a D2 instead of a keychain. I kind of like that idea. I think I might start doing a D2 instead of a keychain. That makes sense to me. But again, I don't know what people would prefer. Well, I'll see. If more people show up, I'll start quizzing them in the chat. See if they have an opinion. How many sets am I pouring tonight? Well, I have 2 7-piece sets planned out, and then I was debating doing either a set of D6s or a set of Fate dice, because I have just like a couple spare ones here. I really only do like 3 sets at a time usually. But hello, Squire. You're back. Excellent, and I can quiz both of you because I was just debating with myself on something. Or what's the word? What's the word where you're just kind of like talking to yourself to try and work something out? Can't think of what it. C. No, I was talking about my new D2 molds, or my new D2s that I've been trying to make. Ah! Oh, ow, I caught it, but I jammed my pinky. Ow. Ow. I was talking about my new D2s and my commissions, and I was trying to, because my commissions at the moment, they're 7-piece sets, and then I throw in like an extra crystal D4 and a keychain usually. But now I have an option of a D2, and so I was debating whether I should add that as like part of the commission, or throw that in as like a little extra thing in place of either the D4 or the keychain. And I was kind of thinking maybe of, adding the D2 as like a dump mold instead of a keychain. Because like, and I said this, I was saying this earlier, like some people are super into keychains. I don't really use a keychain. I don't really use keychains. So I was debating whether people would like keychains more or a D2 more as like a little extra thing. And I was leaning towards the D2, but I was figuring if no one actually showed up to give any input, I'd go ask on Discord and see if people had an opinion. And I probably still will. But I'm kind of thinking I might stop doing keychains with commissions and start doing a D2 instead, so you get a little crystal D4 and a D2. But there's options here. Like I said, I could update my commissions to just have the D2 as part of it too. But it doesn't always work with all designs as part of it too. Like the D2 idea as in place of the keychain. Or just in general? Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, though. I could start adding, offering D2s as part of the commission, or I could do it as a bonus thing with commissions. I'm not planning on doing both, unless people specifically request a D2. I could, yeah. Yeah, I could. To be fair, part of it is just that, like, I like having something. I don't want the commissioner to expect. I know that people who've bought from me before or that show up at the streams probably expect to get a keychain and an extra D4, but I don't want that to be like part of the listing. And part of that is because I use those as dump molds. So, for example, this set that I'm doing here has a whole bunch of different colors and everything with it. The D4 and the keychain aren't actually going to match the set in the sense that they're not going to match the theme or anything. They're literally just the extra resin from these. And usually I do try to get it to match, if it's a set with like a feather in it, I'll put a feather in there. But, something like that. But yeah. So in that sense, it's like I don't really want to ask the commissioner because I'd rather it be kind of a surprise. I'd rather it be like a little bonus, that they get some sort of little bonus thing, because I feel like that's kind of fun. And also puts less pressure on me because I'm really just using it as a way to get rid of extra resin and also give the person something a little bit extra. But I don't want them to be expecting something specific. so like, you know, in that case, like I could make the D2 part of the commission, or I could use it as a bonus thing, probably in either in place of the D4 or the crystal D4 or the keychain. See, on the other hand, I could start giving people the option of either having the pyramid D4 or the crystal D4 shape. That would make sense to me on the commission too. But you know, if I replaced that, yeah, you understand, yeah. I don't know, I'm just trying to think it through. Just trying to think it through. It's not a bad idea. Like, I do try to have good communication with folks who order from me. But that's something I have to work at. It's yeah, I'm maybe not the best at communicating with folks. I have to, like, remember. That's part of the reason I usually try, oops. That's part of the reason why when people message me on, like, Etsy Messenger and stuff, I try to respond immediately, is so that I don't forget. Either I respond immediately, or I leave the conversation open so that I do it as soon as I can, or I literally add it to my calendar. Hey, respond to folks, or invite them to come watch the stream because I'm going to be working on their dice. And I never said I was good at people. If it's a D&D set, the D2 would make more sense. Oh, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, for the 7-piece sets, the D2 would make sense. The fudge sets, keychains would make more sense. That's a really good point, not name brand, or Omar. I'm just reading out your, do all 3 as freebies and then decide what to put in there based on what's in the commission. If they want a D2 or the crystal D4 as part of the commission, I'll give them a keychain. Yeah, that's fair. I don't want, my commissions are already, I don't know, I don't want things to be too confusing too. That's the other thing. I already have 3 different kind of things for my commissions. I want my commissions to be as user-friendly as possible as well. So I don't want to add too many more, like, things where the person has to, like, try and pick a whole bunch of, like, obviously there's a lot of back and forth with commissions anyways, but I want to make the user, customer, ooh, I need to turn off my ringtone, my phone just buzzed. I want to make things as streamlined as possible for the person who's ordering. Okay, there's all of our moss in, I think. Does this one have any dark green? I do appreciate you guys having ideas, though. I do appreciate all of the ideas. Yes, but I think I agree with Omar. I think that for these sets, making a D2 and an extra D4 makes a lot of sense. For like the Fate dice and the D6 sets, making a keychain makes more sense. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So I think I might do that moving forward. In which case, we're not gonna do a keychain with that one. We're gonna do a D2, which actually, I know I have, well, I need to pull some stuff out of, I have another D2 mold that's, I'm gonna pull out. But let's finish adding the plants first before I go. I'm just gonna throw a whole bunch of plants in here. Just trying to add some foliage. I'm gonna go get the stuff out of the pressure pot in a moment, so that I can actually use some of those molds, because now I want to use that D2 mold for this sit over here, and I want to use the blank D4 mold. Let's add some flowers. Just drop some flowers. Okay, let's put that in. Okay, cool. I think I like that idea. And again, it's just because I kind of want things to be a little bit of a surprise with the freebies. Even if it's not really a surprise to some folks who've like ordered from me before and whatever, but you know, I don't know. I feel like I don't want people to necessarily be expecting things. Cool. Yeah, like I said, I appreciate you guys having ideas for that. Sharing ideas. There we go. I can words and people. Man, do any of you guys feel like your social skills have just gone to crap during quarantine? Like maybe my social skills were crap before, but like I feel like I just do not know how to people anymore. Maybe I didn't know how to people before. Maybe I'm just more so like aware of it now. I'm just aware of how awkward I am now. I don't know if that's better or worse. But, yeah. I'm just throwing a whole bunch of random little plant pieces in here. Oh, being able to choose between types of D4s and like the extra D4s you make can be extra D4s I make can be added to pre-made sets. What do you mean the extra D4s can be added to pre-made sets? I do send along like an extra D4 with pre-made sets too. Like people get like an extra crystal D4 with pre-made sets. I'm not quite sure what you mean, though. I know how to talk to my cat, and that's it. Aren't you married? Yeah, it's, oh man. To be fair, I've never really liked talking one-on-one with people, because I've always, I don't know, I don't like trying to have to keep a conversation going. There's something, yeah, I can talk to him too. What? Hello, Omar. What? Hello. What's going on? Yeah. Hello? What was I saying? I can't remember what I was saying now, guys. What was I talking about besides being socially awkward? Oh, I think the extra D4s, but anyways. Just got a little bit of plants. And some leaves. Glitter! What was I going to say? I don't remember what I was saying. I got distracted by Scryer talking to her cat. You don't know either. I'm like, what was I saying? And Omar's also like, what was I saying? Just trying to add some flowers. Oh, add a little bit of red in there. That'll be nice. Oh, you don't even know what you mean. I do add, I do put, bonus D4s with all of my pre-made sets too. But I think I could see adding the D4 options for my commissions, now that I kind of have it set up for both. It depends on what people want, though, too. Because, for example, like this one where I'm doing a, you know, an insert, I only have this shape of insert. I don't have the crystal shape. So, like, if people wanted something where I'd need to use the inserts, I'd have to do that shape. But that's something that I could reach out to them individually and tell them. Like, that's not too hard to do. I guess, to be fair, I really should, I should really update, wait. Oh, no, I can't. Ugh. Oh, have you not seen the inserts? Here, I'm gonna show off. These aren't yours, Scryer, so you're okay. I'm gonna show off the ones that are not super exciting looking. Hopefully, I would assume Mero is not here. But, for the dice exchange that I'm doing with a couple of folks, including Scryer, some of Scryer's dice are over here too, but I'm not gonna show those because it's gonna be a surprise. And this was just kind of a proof of concept type thing. I was doing an experiment with this set, but Yeah, I made some, come on, if it'll focus. No, it doesn't want to focus, there we go. Just some blank inserts. Like, I'm excited for these because I want to be able to like paint them. These ones I just kind of did like a splatter paint type things with some dots. It's for a character that one of the folks has. But like, I'm excited to be able to do these with like more painting. No, you're good. I'm not gonna show off your dice. I'm showing off the ones for Marrow because I was talking about the blank inserts. Yeah. I'm excited to mess around with those ones. We're gonna do a blank D4. Oh yeah, I hadn't actually seen them. Yeah. Well, to be fair, I haven't done much with them yet. Here, this one has one. I haven't done much with them. I've done those, and I did like there's this with some lightning, and this actually glows in the dark too, which is fun. Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm excited to get like do like a full set of something with some, I don't know, maybe paint some flowers or something on there. I like painting. Need to get blanks. It really depends on what you want to do, but I'm excited to work with those more. I do finally have my full jumbo dice molds. I do finally have the full set for jumbo dice, so I need to make those at some point too. But we're not doing that tonight because I need to make the commission set and this set as kind of a example set. So it's not happening tonight, but maybe Saturday. I'll have to look at my calendar. Maybe we'll try doing jumbo dice. I need to figure out what I want to do in them. To be fair, I may have done a couple of jumbo dice already, but those are not going to get shown off because of surprise reasons. So, you know. But no, I do want to do a set of those at some point. I do want to do a set of like crazy like complex jumbo dice and stuff too, with like scenes in them, but not quite. I think I'll do probably just something a little bit more simple first. Those take time. I'll need to do some planning. That's the thing with the complex, like the more complex designs and stuff. Like, they're fun to do. They take more planning. Take a lot more planning. Because I'll need to make some things probably. Sometimes they take more than one pour, so I have to plan that out. I actually should, you guys have seen there was a set of dice that I did. I might not need those plants actually. There's a set of dice I did at one point that had a little mountain in them. And so I made a bunch of little mountains. I was going to do a set of little like dice with mountains in them. But I need to do a very thin layer of silver at the bottom of, you know, a couple sets of 7-piece dice. Yeah, I think I don't need these flowers over here. We're just going to use these. Just kind of pile this stuff in. I mean, I could do that tonight too, I suppose. I'm trying to kind of estimate how much resin I'm going to need. So each set of dice takes about 30 milliliters. And then I've got like just a couple over here that I need to do, which is kind of why I was thinking maybe I'd have enough for, actually, you know what? I don't want to do the mountain ones tonight. I already have a set of molds that are upstairs in my office because I need to finish painting some lily pads into them. So I don't want to tie up 2 more sets of molds or another set of molds till I get those done, I think. So I'll wait for that. There was a leaf there. Oh, it's still in here. Like, where did it go? It just disappeared. No, it's just right in front of me. Just gonna throw a whole bunch of bunch of random foliage. Into these. I'm trying to get some of the little bits that have color and stuff into all of these so they all have a little bit of color. But I think that's looking good. Yeah, I think that's looking good. Let me put these plants away, but we've got those all packed with plants. Get these plants away. Come on. I just don't want to smash them or anything. I'm gonna put them back in the box. Didn't actually end up needing them, but that's okay. Oops, I say as I almost smashed some of them. That goes there. This goes over here. I do have them kind of sorted in here just so that hopefully I can find them as I want them. There we go. All put away. All right. So we've got that figured out. I'm going to mute this for, let me actually just a second. Yeah, that seems like it's all set up. I'm going to mute this for just a moment. And that's because I'm going to take some stuff out of the pressure pot, and it's a little bit loud when I first release the air on it. So give me just a second. Yeah, you can probably hear it in the background, still releasing air there. Anyway, I might be able to make it so you can see what I'm doing. Haha! You can see the pressure pot. We're just gonna get the molds out so that we can use those. I want to be able to use the D2 and the blank D4 that I have in here. I think they're both done now, if I remember correctly. Ta-da! Aha! There we go. All right. I have to figure out which one are the ones that I need. I think that might be the D2. Do these later. Don't need to do those yet. Yeah, I was gonna do this last night. And by the time I actually got to like the pouring silicone part, it was like 2 a.m. And I was just like, I'll do that tomorrow. Yeah, those are perfect. That's all set up. So let's get our molds that we need. Where's the end? Here's the end. So I think this is the D2. Yep, that looks like a D2. Perfect. Now we have a D2 mold that we can use for this 7-piece set. That's exciting. We'll do that. Now I have to try and find the blank D4, which is somewhere in here. It'd be really funny if it was this one just randomly. Nope. This is another crystal D4. I have some kind of random, make a note here. This is crystal D4. Up. I have a kind of a random assortment of things here. Crystal D4 up, okay. I didn't really do, I was kind of just doing like the ones that I felt like I needed the most at the moment. You know, molds wear out and stuff. They don't always wear out evenly. It's this one. Ah, this is a blank D10. up with my blank ones. I really need to label all my blank ones because I don't actually have those labeled. Another blank D10. I've been doing, so, I don't know, I feel like I've been doing a lot of D10s recently. Because I had a commission for some, I'm doing some for an exchange. It's just lots of, oh, this is a regular D4. I had stopped making the regular D4s, which is why I made one here. Because I was mostly moving towards the crystal ones, but what with commissions, oh my gosh, these are so slimy. I use petroleum jelly, Vaseline, to keep the two silicone parts from sticking to each other. So these things are just so, like, slippery with Vaseline. Up. D4 up. Oops, I need to actually label that one. This is riveting, I'm sure. The most exciting of dice making processes. Sitting here and unmolding molds. But I want the blank D4. Oh no, this is a blank D8. I was excited for a moment because I saw a triangle, but this is a blank D8. Alright. I think I don't have a blank D6 or D20 here because I think I did those earlier. If I'm remembering correctly, I think that's what I don't have here. Ah, here's a spare pipped D6. Well, that's what I was going to say before. Part of the reason I don't want to add too many more, because I was going to say for the D6s that I do have to, like, straight up ask people in the chat, hey, do you want numbers or pips? And I was going to say, oh, I should update the listing so that you can choose that as an option. Oh, hi, Mercury. I was saying I should update it so I have that as an option. But Etsy lets you have, like, two. There's the neighborhood kitty cat outside the window. Lets you have, like, two sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Like options, I guess. Oh, what do you call that? What do you call that? Like specifications type things. You can kind of like give options to specify. Here's the one that I need. You can kind of give it options to like specify two different things. So like for my 6-sided dice sets, I have how many you want and how complex of ones you want. Which means that I don't actually have a slot open to ask whether people want pips or numbers. Otherwise I would do that. Okay, there's the D4 one that I wanted, but we'll just take this one out as well. So now, yeah, because I was just like, oh, I should update it to do that, and it's like, oh, I can't actually do that. Can't actually do that. There's not enough spaces for that. There's only 2 allowed, and I already have it set up to be quantity. I guess I could do that. Yeah, I'd have to double the, yeah, I guess I could say standard numbers, standard pips. That's true. Yeah. I don't know whether it's easier on the user side of things for me to ask, or if there's, because like, you know, if there's a big long list of things, if that's going to be like people are just going to gloss over it type thing. But yeah, that might be the way to go. Might be easiest to do it that way. I mean, I could do it in the amount as well, but probably complexity would make more sense for that, yeah. Because I have, you know, you can 4, 6, and 12, and then simple, standard, and complex, like I have with my 7-piece sets. And then I have, it's fun because there's different prices for each mix. Okay, cool. So we've got our D4 mold. Let's get everything all Getting all organized. Get all of our colors and everything. We've got our plants all figured out. We've got our color over here that's going to go with those. Yeah, it might, yeah, maybe complexity. So these are just going to have clear. These already have all of the crystals and stuff in there. I just need to put clear on those. This one, I liked this color, and I'm trying to remember, I think this was a mix. What was this a mix of? I really should take better notes. I have to try and remember what this was a mix of. It was a mix of, like, one color of, I'm trying to remember if this is a purple mica with a blue ink or a blue mica with a purple ink. Oh man, I took that upstairs. Ow. I did some reorganizing over here, so things are a little bit easier to get to now, which is nice. Because it could be this phthalo blue with purple ink. That's a possibility. Or it could be this purple mica with a blue ink. I feel like it's a purple mica with a blue ink maybe, but I'm not positive. It could be a mix of these two. Actually, a mix of those two would probably look nice. But I think maybe it's a purple mica with a blue ink. It's really hard to tell. It's really hard to tell. It's one or the other. Like, it looks kind of blue to you, but it's a really kind of, yeah, I think it's a blue ink and a purple mica. I like the effect though. It's kind of a pretty sort of effect. I think we'll use that purple. We'll use that purple, and then was it? I did something else kind of similar last night before. The problem is I took that upstairs already, and I don't have it here anymore. And I think it was actually the phthalo blue with purple ink. So I'm just debating which way I want to go. I know that this one looks good. And I don't know which blue ink I used. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull out my paint chips again. We're pulling out the paint chips. I'm gonna try and figure out what colors I put in here, or what colors would look the best in here. So I'm thinking maybe it could be this purple and where's the phthalo? Where's the phthalo blue? Where's the phthalo blue? Oh, and the phthalo blue. So it might be those. Could be the purple with, that looks kind of nice actually. See that? It looks kind of similar with the phthalo blue. Or it could be like this purple, which is actually the purple from in here, with, I guess, they look very similar. So, see this purple with like this blue. Hello, how are you doing, Carved Ice? I'm trying to remember what colors I used for something. I think I like these. I think we're going to go with those. Even if those aren't the ones that I did before, I think it'll look nice. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Let me put it away. I think we're going to go with the phthalo blue. I think it's phthalo. Like, I've heard people pronounce the P at the beginning because it's spelled P-H-T-H-A-L-O. Phthalio? I don't know. I've always said phthalo, just because that made the most sense to me. Just ignore the PH. I'm probably wrong. It probably is like Phthalio blue or something. And I've just been ignoring the PH. It's because I'm very basic. That was a PH joke. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. For this, all right, What are you up to? Words. What are you up to tonight, Carved Dice? Doing anything fun? I'm making dice, but I feel like that's probably, you know, a given considering the title of this stream. All right. I think we're gonna have enough resin to do either a set of D6s or a set of fate dice. Oh, hi Library Rat. I'm good, how are you? Thanks for following. Making dice, so nice. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go for the fate. Oh, that's not the right thing. I'm gonna go for the fate dice because, quite honestly, they seem more popular in my shop. That's my only reasoning there. People seem more interested in fate dice than they do in D6s. So we're gonna do some miniatures. I'm looking for fun. Oh, cool! I should do some miniature painting again. That's really fun to do. It's been a while though. It's been a while. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily the best at it, but it's fun. What should we do for this set? Even making props for a Barbie house that you're remodeling? Oh, that's really cool. Love stuff like that. Do you stream it? Or you just doing it for fun? Oh man, TD's jar of itty bitty Q-tips. Oh man, that sounds difficult. Oh, you stream Photoshop art. Oh, cool. That's very cool as well. I'm not great at digital art. I'm still learning. So I'm always very impressed with people who can do digital art. What should we do for a set of fate dice? I've been doing a lot of like, what do you want to call it? Oh, I've been wanting to get into resin. It's pretty fun. I really enjoy it. I've been doing a lot of like dirty pours recently for these. I guess that's a set of D6s. I've been doing a lot of dirty pours recently, so maybe we'll do something different. Maybe we'll do something different than a dirty pour. Maybe I'll do something with plants in it. I'm not sure I've actually done. I don't think I've done a set of fate dice. Just a second, let me put these away. I don't think I've done a set of fate dice yet that have flowers in it. So let's do something with flowers. Maybe roses. Should we do some fate dice with just some like little roses in them? Maybe just some gold foil or something like that. Where's my... Ooh, moss and rose gold foil. That'd be pretty too. I don't really have any rose gold foil. I have like a copper, but that sounds really pretty. I think I'm gonna go for, I think I'm gonna do roses and gold foil. I do like copper too. But I feel like there's something classic about gold and roses. But yeah, no, I'm a big fan of copper as well. That's always fun. But let's do roses for this, because I don't think I've actually done a set of fate dice that have flowers. I don't think I've done that. So let's find some stuff to put in here. We're just gonna do all of the plants tonight. That's the plan apparently. Let's find some good sized. Yeah, I was figuring clear resin. Just clear resin. We could do a color. I'm open to ideas. This is the only set here tonight that, like, I don't really have a plan for. I didn't come into this with a plan. Like, this set over here, I'm going to be doing blue and red and purple. It's for a commission. And then this set over here, I'm doing with all sorts of plants in it, which is kind of an example for a commission. But I'm like, I can do like another set of dice. So what should I do? So I'm open to ideas. This is just me spitballing. So, you know, if you have ideas for different color, ooh, Beauty and the Beast theme. What are you thinking? Yeah, no, I'm always down for spitballing. Ah, is there something else you would add to make it a Beauty and the Beast theme? Like, I feel like it kind of feels Beauty and the Beast-ish with the roses and the gold now that you're saying it, but I'm just like, oh, what else should I add? There's a full, this one's a little bit more open. Let's see, does that one fit in there? Yeah, that one fits in there. Yeah. These ones are maybe a little bit smushed. A little bit smushed. But, and these ones are maybe a little bit bigger too. Let's see here. Well, this one I think will fit. There we go. So we have 2 buds and then... Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Maybe the gold does. I guess I always thought of her dress as being kind of, yeah, yellow, but I guess gold kind of works too. It just reminded you of that. That's fair. That's fair. Oh dear, I've just gotten all sorts of like weird seeds all over my table. Alright, let me grab a couple of some little tiny buds here. I put one of those in here. This could have 2. Is that too much maybe? That might be too much. Although I could do this one a little bit bigger. Just trying to, yeah, there we go. No, I don't think this needs 2. We're just gonna do the 1. I found a little tiny one. You're getting really sleepy? You headed to bed, Omar? Alright, have a good rest of your night. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, I'll grab a couple of petals. Alright, so I'm going to pull these out. I'm probably going to dip these in some clear resin first before putting them in. I found that helps reduce bubbles a little bit. I don't want too many bubbles in these. I do put these into a pressure pot to cure them, so that helps, you know, push down some of the bubbles until they're really, really small. But, you know, I don't want big air gaps or anything. That doesn't end up well. So I'm gonna grab a couple of petals just because it's nice to have like a little bit of stuff maybe floating in there, but the rest of this is gonna go back into the bag. Including all these weird little, like, not seeds, but stuff from the, I don't know, they're around the inside part of the rose. Okay, cool. That. Put that up and away. Up and away, okay. And then I want some gold. Maybe I will do just a very slight gold shimmer to the resin too. I think that'll be nice. I'm just gonna go all out gold. Okay. Got that planned out now as well. There is actually, we're gonna put like our pigments and everything into cups, or mixing cups and stuff. There's actually one more thing I want to do before we get to that point. So I have this set over here that I mentioned. That is for a commission. So I'm putting these in order. It just helps me keep track of what all I have. I don't know why I'm putting the lids back on. I'm actually going to take all these lids off because I'm going to be adding some stuff to here. So these are going to be mostly blue and purple and have a little bit of red. But I'm also going to be adding some holographic glitter and little holographic stars. And then like a little tiny moon in the D20. So before I add those stars and stuff, so the big glitter like that, and even actually the small glitter like that, will tend to sink to the bottom of the molds. So I want to try and stick the stars and stuff to the sides so that they won't all end up on just the bottom. But the problem is, if I stick them to the sides now, I end up with them on the outside, so that when I need to sand it, some of that might get sanded off. So what I'm going to do, just grab a little from that here, and we're going to kind of cover some of the stars and the little moon here in just a little bit of UV resin, just to help protect them a little bit. And that will hopefully make it so that if I need to sand the dice at all, I'll sand off that little bit of UV resin and not sand off the actual glitter. let me get everything ready here for that. This is just a little UV lamp. It's really for like nails and stuff, but it works for UV resin as well. And let's find all the pieces. Before I do that, let me just gonna grab a little piece of tape here, because there's silicone, like things tend to try and stick to it. Ooh, that was loud. Things tend to try and stick to the silicone. And so I want to make a kind of a clean spot here for actually working on this. Get some of this random dust and every cat hair and glitter and anything else that might be kind of stuck down off of this area. Alright, got an area that's just a little bit cleaner now. So we've got our little moon. It's not really perfect, but that's just because I cut it out myself. And then we're going to grab a few little stars as well. There's also like hexagons in here. I don't know if I want to add some hexagons or not. I feel like I could. You know, we'll add a couple hexagons as well. I think that those might be fine. But let me lay these out here. There's some little tiny hexagons in here as well. And I will actually add those, but I'm not going to stick them to the sides. I'm just going to add them with the other glitter, which I guess maybe I'll get a little cup here for that. I'll start adding some of these little tiny holographic ones into this cup here, because those are going to get added with the other glitter. And so that glitter is actually going to go in with the blue. I don't think I need it with the red necessarily, because there's going to be so little of the red. And the purple is going to be kind of opaque, just because I'm doing a mica powder for that. So it's going to be shimmery anyways. You wouldn't really see the glitter too much. So this is really just going to go with the blue, I think. We might add a little, we'll add some of the other holographic glitter in with the red, but it's not going to be super noticeable if I did it with the red. Okay, I don't really want too many of the big hexagons. I really want more of the stars. I'll put some of these away. Still got a whole bunch of hexagons in my hand. Well, I can't. I'm shooting holographic hexagons everywhere. Holographic hexagons. I feel like that's a band name maybe or something. It's a very strange band, but I'm not sure what kind of music holographic hexagons plays, but maybe it's music. I don't know. It's a band name, but like it's a band that doesn't actually play music. That makes sense. I'll show you. So let me think about this. Seems like an indie band name. Yeah, kind of does. Or like, yeah, probably indie. Can I get all that? The little, they're escaping. I'm trying to think, let me think of how many I'm going to need. So I'm going to do the moon in the D20, and I'll probably do like 1 or 2 stars in there. Oh, I see more stars here. We'll do 1 or 2 stars in there. D12, we could do like 1 star and a couple of hexagons. I think I want each of them to have at least 1 star. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I want at least 9 stars. I really want more than that. Okay. 1. Oops, that's 2 stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we want more than that. Like, the D4 can have just 1 star. That's fine. But some of the, like the D20 and stuff, they're kind of big. I'd like probably more than 1 star in there. Not every of them needs a hexagon, though. How many of these do I have? 1, 2, 3, 7. We'll still make 9 of them. We'll make 9 hexagons, I think. And there's some more stars. Excellent. Is that 2 stars? It's 2 stars. I think we're getting close to enough here. I think this will be enough. If we need more, we can make more, but I think this will be good. And I want all the little tiny glitters that are in here that are little tiny hexagons. I want them in my little cup here. Yeah, no, for some reason my mind was supplying me with glam rock, but I think that's just because glam makes me think of holographic for some reason. Or disco. I think the holographic makes me think of disco, actually. Not necessarily the word holographic, but just like, I don't know, makes me think of like a disco ball or something. Come on, get out of there. There we go. To be honest, if there's not too many of the little tiny hexagons in there, it's not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. Yeah. Still a couple off the side here, but no, not the big hexagon. Just the little hexagons. Okay. I could have sworn I dropped it. Yeah. Just a second. I'm dropping things everywhere. They just kind of cling. They cling to things. There we go. Alright. We've got our little glitters here. I'm going to take some UV resin. I'm just going to make a little dollop here, I think. I think that'll be easiest. And we're just going to spread a little bit of that all over all of these. Like I said, I'm just making a little bit of a barrier to try and protect these from getting sanded off on the outside of the dice. I have my very fancy UV resin tools here, which is just a straight pin. I'm just going to try and put a little dot on top of all of these. It's very viscous. I really should make some more dice. I feel like I've kind of taken a little bit of a break making dice. I have made dice recently, but there was a couple of days in there where I'm just like, I'm gonna work on, like, I either didn't get around to it because I was working on other stuff, or I was just like, I am going to do that later, and then I just never did. So I should make some more dice. Although at the same time, I think I have plenty over here. I'm trying to figure out where my bottleneck is again. Like what? So I got a second tumbler for polishing dice fairly recently, and that's because I could tell that that's where I was getting held up. Like that was the slowest point in the production line type thing. I had a whole bunch of things sanded that were waiting to get to the tumbler for polishing. So I got a second one, which has helped a lot. Well, now that I'm thinking about it, that's kind of where I'm at now again. I still have things, in the tumbler's polishing, and I have things waiting to get in there. So maybe that's my hold-up spot still. They just take a while in there. I feel like it's been taking like a week for things to polish. Maybe I need to change out the filler that I have in there, the medium. I have like a hardwood medium that's in there, which works well. I got a little bit more recently, and maybe I need to use some in there. Okay, and I really want to coat the moon here. because that part, I do want, it's paper. Like these other ones, you know, if they get sanded off, they're just gonna probably turn silver. Like the holographicness might get sanded off, but they'll probably just kind of turn silver. But the moon is actually like holographic paper. I really don't want to end up sanding that and sanding off part of the paper, because that will not look good. So we're just gonna coat that in a bit of the UV resin, so that doesn't happen. We're still gonna protect everything else too, but that's the one that I'm most worried about. You know, I feel like it's kind of, I'm going back to the whole nature of streaming thing. I've noticed that like my voice and my demeanor somewhat changes depending on whether I'm just kind of talking in general or if I'm talking to someone in chat. And it's, I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, it's probably noticeable. But like, you know, right now I'm just kind of talking to myself, really. But if someone says something in chat, you know, even if I'm just repeating something that I already just said, it's just like, oh yes, I must talk to people. I know how to communicate. Hello, fellow humans. I am here to communicate. Let's make sure all that's spread out. I really just have one more. Still some from this cup. One more to just kind of get a little bit of resin on there. All right. I'm gonna bake those for a moment. Oh, stretch. When did you redeem? Oh, weird. It didn't show up in this feed. It showed up in that feed. Wonder why that happened. But stretching is a good idea. I didn't see that because it, for some reason, I have kind of two feeds going. Also, if anybody else has been sitting for a while and has not stretched, it's not a bad idea to do that now. Oh. I have kind of two feeds open. I have the software that I'm streaming from, and then I have Twitch. And for some reason, that showed up on Twitch, didn't show up on the streaming software chat, which is the one that I usually follow because it's kind of, it has all of the real-time stuff for me, whereas Twitch has a little bit of a delay for the video and stuff. Also, if you're wondering why I'm sitting like this, I am actually stretching because my leg is here. Alright, we're gonna run that one more time. I usually do it like twice. And then I'll flip them over and run it one more time. And there's a couple of them here that didn't really get coated all that perfectly, but I think that'll be okay. It will be okay. But I do want to flip them over so that I can make sure that the back got cured as well. And then I think we'll put those into the molds and we'll be all set to go. I need to add the pigments to some mixing cups, but other than that, that seems to be everything. Alright, let me flip these over. Oh, I have stayed up way too late the past 2 nights. I really should go to sleep at a more reasonable time. Like, on the one hand, like, I kind of, you know, make my own schedule at the moment, so if I stay up late, it's not too big of a deal. But on the other hand, like, I do actually have stuff that I try to do at certain times. Like, I have, you know, I always do social media at, like, noon on the days that I do social media stuff. And so it's like, I gotta be up before noon. Actually, I gotta be up at, like, 11 so that I can make sure that I have stuff ready to go on social media at noon. So it's like, I still have a schedule. I still unwittingly have a set schedule that I've made for myself. Still need to get up at a certain time. But like on the other hand, like for example, like tomorrow, don't really have anything at a set time. Probably sleep in tomorrow. Now that I'm thinking about it. At the same time though, I probably should go to bed before 4 a.m. Because I kind of wake up at, 10 or 11 automatically anyways. Okay. Like I said, I'm just flipping all these over in case any of the UV resin got behind the little piece of glitter that I'm covering. That way I'll make sure that that gets cured too, because if light can't get to it, it's not going to cure. So if it ended up behind the little what would you want to call this? Piece of chunky glitter. It wouldn't end up cured, so that'll just make everything easier in the long run if everything's all cured. Yeah. There we go. There we go. And the moon. How's the moon looking? I might want to make sure those corners are coated a little bit more, but let me run that under the lamp one more time. So what are folks up to this evening? Anything fun? Any fun art projects? I'm making dice. Oh, I should refill this actually. I should start figuring out a painting project to work on next. I really like painting, and I finished the last one that we started on stream together, which was a crow. So I should start figuring out what I want to do next. I'm thinking maybe something just kind of abstract. Just do something abstract. Very color and shape based, as opposed to trying to be anything specific. I might do that. Because there's something relaxing about just sitting down and just painting. Even if it is a still life or something, but alright. Let's see if we have enough. I'm just gonna scoot this off to the side for now, instead of having to try and take everything off of there all at once. I'm just gonna pull all the stars from here. But on the other hand, I could do a still life or something. It's been a while. I didn't realize how long it had been. Hello, Jen. I'm glad you could make it. I'm just over here making dice as usual. You were here for my question earlier, which is I'll come grill you now as well. I think I know kind of what I want to do. Oh yes, I saw the sword that you drew in the Discord. It's very cool. It's all flamey. Get this out of my way. I have a lot of things on this table, and it's overwhelming. I think I kind of have a plan now, but I'm still, looking for input here. I have, a D2 mold now for making little coins. And so here's my thought. So for commissions, in the past, put this away. I have, people get 7-piece set just classic 7-piece set with the little pyramid D4s and everything. And then as like a little bonus thing, I do a crystal D4 and keychain. But I'm thinking now, instead of doing a keychain for like the 7-piece sets, I'm gonna do a D2. And then for like, you know, other sets that it wouldn't make sense to send a D2 with, like the fate dice or whatever, I will do a keychain still. That's kind of my idea, but really it came down, like, I was asking folks, like, would you rather get a D2 or a keychain with a commission order? That's really what the question was. Because it's kind of like, I think I'd do either or. I don't think I would do a crystal D4, a D2, and a keychain. I don't know, that just seems like much. Because really I'm just using this as a way to get rid of extra resin and stuff. You know, I'm using these as like dump molds. So I was looking. D2 is more collectible. Yeah, see, that's yeah, you do have enough keychains. Yeah, I was kind of leaning towards the D, like doing a D2 as well. I thought that the D2 also it's a die. It would go with the dice set. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. That's why I have the D2 out. This is gonna be a commission set. I think I'm gonna do the crystal D4 and the D2 as kind of dump molds. Let me make sure that I have a star for each one of these. Do I even have any resin on it? I don't know if it does. Yeah, that's kind of where I was leaning. I'm thinking I'm gonna do a crystal D4. Although the other thing that I was talking about is starting to give people the option of either have, like, whether they want the pyramid D4 or the crystal D4 shape. But, you know, it's like, well, I could do that too. Could have that as an option. Let's add one of these for each. I don't really need a hexagon in the D4, I don't think, but I don't think I need one in that D4, but we'll add one to the D2. Yeah, because like I don't really do, like, I personally don't use a lot of keychains. That was really what it came down to. Is like, I think I personally would rather get a D2 to go with the dice set. Like that seems cool. And I don't really use a lot of keychains, but some people do. So I think that's the direction I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna do like a D2 and then a crystal D4. That's the plan. Rule the world. I mean, but anyways, rule the world. Yes. What's up with you? How? Says the alchemist. Not a lich. Not a lich. No. Or a wizard. I mean, I never said that it would be effective. Or that my plan was a good one. Who wants to live forever? Alright, there's the D20. You're currently vibing and you cleaned off all of your commissions and did one today and you're trying to craft your upcoming paladin. Excellent. I bet that's nice having everything done, but also it's exciting that you've been getting so many commissions. Seems like you've been getting a lot lately. Even if it is commissions can be a little bit stressful. Like, it's exciting that you've been getting so many. The most you ever had at one time, to be honest. Here, let me throw away this piece of tape. The one, like, piece of advice that I gave to my friend who was talking about opening up commissions. Oh, your turnaround time is faster than you thought. Sweet. That's nice. I actually upped my turnaround time, my listed turnaround time on my commissions. I think I used to have like, oh dear, it didn't stick. I used to have it listed as like, I don't know what it was, 4 to 6 weeks. I now have it like 4 to 8 weeks. And to be fair, most of my commissions I get done in the 4 to 6 weeks, but some of the more complex ones, they just take time. You've been told that you should raise prices. Usually, I hope you're keeping like a portfolio too. I was thinking about that earlier when I saw the sword. I was like, you should make sure that you have like a portfolio, so you know, if you ever head in this direction, like professionally, you got everything in one spot. Hi Nerd Holla, how you doing? We're talking about arts and crafts, which is so strange for this stream. I am doing a kind of spacey set with red, and well, it's mostly gonna be the blue and the purple with a little bit of red for a commission. And then I'm doing a set that's gonna have, just has all sorts of like moss and plants in it. Kind of hard to see. All sorts of moss and plants in it, and it's gonna have some green resin. And then I'm gonna do a set of fate dice that have roses and gold in them, because I realized I don't think I've done a set of fate dice that have plants in them. But at the moment, I'm putting a whole bunch of little tiny stars into these, into my molds here. What are you up to? Anything fun tonight? Ah, if I can get. Ah! Can't pick up the star. Come. Ah, there we go. If I can get that to. There we go. Come on. There we go. Ah, just got done with D&D. Didn't die. That's always good. That's always what you want to happen, is to not die in your D&D game. Did you have a fun time? Sounds like maybe you had a tough battle or something. Where do I want to put this? Put that up on the side. It's been a long while since I've played D&D now, because I haven't really played since being in quarantine. Since like the quarantine started, which is on me, I think, because I think my D&D group that I was part of, I don't know if they actually continued without me or not, but they probably would have done it online, but I just cannot focus. Oh, you're near the end of the campaign. That's always crazy. That's always a wild time. I don't think I've ever really done like a long-term campaign that then ended. Like, I've done kind of short-term sort of campaigns that were fun and stuff, but they just kind of, you know, fizzled out a little bit. That's very exciting though. Having all sorts of cool character stuff. Oh, Wizard campaign continued also, and the Lord was nice. Lore. I can't talk. I can't talk tonight for some reason. I don't know why. I just can't talk tonight. Did the bottles that you were drawing, Jen, come into play? Any of that stuff happen? Yeah. I can't draw. I can't place this. Like I said, I can't words tonight. I think I'm tired. Ooh, showed them to the group. Cool. They turned out very cool, so. I haven't actually ordered stickers yet with the ones that you drew for me, but I have them like in my shopping cart on the site that I was going to order from. I just need to actually like place the order and stuff. But, you know, things are expensive. I need to just actually order them. I was kind of deciding like what all I wanted to get. Can't wait to eat those stickers. I'm still kind of deciding what all I want to order, because it's just like, because I have the two that you drew me, I have the bottle that I drew a while back that I was thinking of getting, and then I was debating getting like my logo on a sticker, but that's a lot of stickers, to be honest. It's a lot of stickers. And the place that I was going to order them from, you can get like 50 minimum, I think. And so, you know, it's like, that adds up. That adds up. So I'm still debating what all exactly I wanna order. All right. I don't actually need these paint chips anymore. I've got my colorants over here. All right. I think we have everything laid out, so we just need to put stuff into mixing cups and we'll be good to go. Here. Let me clean that one out. That one looks like it had green in it. So we're gonna put some green back into it. There's all sorts of leftover resin in here. So please feel free to like talk about what's going on in your campaign, Nerd Holla. Like that's the sort of stuff that we enjoy here. That's why oh come on. That's why this emote exists. Oh come on. Why can I not? There we go. My singular emote is that mostly because we like hearing about people's D&D games here, and or what they're putting together for DMing or anything like that. So if there's anything that you want to like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not espouse. Not ramble. What's the word I'm looking for? Talk excitedly. Ah, you're a DM as well as a player. Excitedly talk about. There we go. That's really what. What's a word that just means excitedly talk about? What's going on with any of the games that you're playing or running? I'm always excited to hear about that. It's like little story bites. Okay, got that. So we've got this. This is just going to be green. This one's going to be blue. Doesn't actually look blue at the moment, but that's because I'm using one that turns a weird color. So for the blue for this one, I'm actually using rainforest green. It looks kind of greenish in the bottle, and then it turns like bright blue once it's in resin. I do need a thing for the red. There's one for the red. We're not gonna have very much red. And then we need one for the purple. That seems like a good one for the purple. But we do actually need to add glitter to that one and then the purple to this one. Have a mix and stick. Let's see. You run a homebrew campaign that's a Feywild mashup of Steven Universe, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Kipo and the Age of the Wonder Beast, Gargoyles, and Adventure Time. Oh, that's fun. That's like the ultimate crossover. I can see how those kind of match tone-wise, though, to like work together well. Even if they all have kind of different settings and everything, the tones make sense to me there. Let me think about this. So I think I want about 12 milliliters of this. 12.5, 12.5, and 5. Is that right? Yes, 12.5, 12.5, and 5. So I think I'm going to want a little bit more purple than that. Ah! these bags is that I end up so purple. There's just purple glitter everywhere. That's probably enough. Well, if I need to add more, I'll add more. You've a world with no demons or dragons. Most creatures are fae or beast folk. There's also sentient food and plants. Oh, that's kind of, I feel like that would throw me off. I would be so worried about eating anything if it's talking to me. Don't know how to feel about that one. Alright, let me get some glitter here. I have not seen Adventure Time, no. It's one of those ones where it's like, oh, I should watch that, and I haven't gotten around to it. There's a few shows like that. It's just like, that looks good. I have not watched it yet. I feel like I tend to get kind of stuck on one thing at a time, and then it's just like, my brain does not have room for anything else. Sorry. Please come back later. They're people-sized candy people. Oh. Just like people made out of candy. Do they get eaten? Because that would also be kind of sad. I don't think I want too much glitter in here, but I want enough that it's noticeable. Because this is going to be about... Yeah, I think that's going to be good. This is going to be about 12 milliliters as well. That's going to be the blue. That's going to be purple. That's going to be red. Okay, I've got those figured out. This one's just going to be green. This one's just going to be... Oh, my foot. Okay. Sometimes, unfortunately... Oh, no. Oh, no. That's so sad. Okay, this one I'm just going to do a little, like, dot of gold. I just want this one to be kind of barely shimmery gold. So I'm just going to go bloop, bloop. That should be enough gold. I just want it to be a little glittery. And then we're going to add some gold foil. I don't think we need too much, to be honest here. Because we're going to have the roses in there as well. And those will take up some space. Ah. And this is going to be fate size. I'm just trying to think of how much of the gold foil I'll actually need. I don't think I'll need too much. Ah. But I want enough that you can like see it. So let's go there, I think. I think it'll be kind of small pieces of gold foil, which will look good. Okay, there's those. Stack those up to the side. All right, we've got that all set. Yes, go with that. I do need to. These two are just gonna have clear in them. This one's I'm going for kind of this purple color. I'm gonna do the phthalo blue. I think it's pronounced phthalo. I don't even know at this point. I feel like that's one that people just pronounce differently. I'm gonna do a little bit of the phthalo blue, and then we're gonna add purple to that until it's a little bit more purpley. I really like this blue color. It's kind of a purpley blue color. It looks even more blue on camera, I think, than it does in here. Like, it looks kind of purplish here. It's definitely blue, but it looks kind of purplish. Okay, I don't think we need too much of that one because we're going to be adding the purple as well. Alright, I think that's everything. Let me make sure. Let me think about this. I think we're going to have some extra. I think we're going to have some extra resin. If we do, we're going to do some crystals. I'm still making crystals for a random commission as well. Do some crystals and some extra dice, I think. But I think that's everything. I think we're ready to go. Let me grab my protective equipment here, and we'll pour some resin. So I'm gonna sound a bit like Darth Vader for the rest of the stream. It's gonna be a little bit muffled, but I will try to continue to talk clearly. And then I'll grab gloves. Oh, just a second, my nose kind of itches now. Ah, is there a cat here in here tickling my nose? Wouldn't surprise me. Well, there is cat hair in here, but I don't know if it's tickling my nose or not. And it might just be my nose being tickled. I've had kind of a sniffy nose today, at any rate, so. Alright. So, get my gloves. That's just for rag here. And I cleaned out my cup earlier, so we're going to do 100 milliliters of resin. That's a stir stick. There's a stir stick. Yeah, I think we're probably going to have a little bit of extra resin. I am going to go quiet for a minute here while I attempt to pour, because I can't talk and like pay attention to how much I'm pouring at the same time. I'm going to take this sweater off, and I'm probably going to get cold, but the sleeves are bunching up in a way that is going to annoy me. So you just I'll just be cold. That's fine. I'd rather those not get in the way. Alright, now let me actually grab the resin. Alright. So we've got part A and part B here. This is the resin, this is the hardener. Why do I have so much more of the... That seems strange. Why do I have so much more of the hardener than I do the resin? That's not a good sign. Not a great sign there. Alright, let me measure this. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, there we go. There's 50 milliliters of that one. Yep, and then we'll do 50 milliliters of the second one. Oh, actually, if I have extra, try putting that. Part B. Now we're gonna stir for a long while. So yeah, it's been a while since I've played D&D. I did have it suggested to me at one point that it might be fun to do like a D&D game on my Twitch channel, which like I'm not opposed to that. It's just that, like I said before, I'm not good at like paying attention to D&D games like online. So I don't know how I would want to set that up. Also, I haven't really DM'd much, so I don't know. I probably want someone else to DM, but I don't know. It's one of those things. I have to figure out like a one-shot or something.
have to figure out players or DM, or there's also logistics there. But it could be fun to do. To be fair, I kind of figured. So I do have one of the rewards on my channel is like custom bonus stream. I stole it from I stole the idea from Scryer. Like she's cool with it, but I stole that idea from Scryer. And like the idea there is that if someone redeems that, then like they can kind of dictate what the stream's going to be about. And we'll figure out when and stuff too. It might be at one of my normal stream times. It might not be. It might be like a completely separate thing. But you know, if someone redeemed that and wanted to do like a D&D game or something, like you know, that's something that could get figured out. Maybe I'm using that a little bit as if someone redeems it. You know, it gives me ideas for things to maybe do on Twitch in the future. But I don't know. Setting up a D&D game seems like a bit of work. It's not like I haven't set up, you know, arranged. I don't know. I've always been so. I guess I'm thinking of this again. Oh, I wonder if people have responded to that. So like I'm setting up like a Minecraft server with some friends. I'm getting that figured out. I don't know anything about like the technical side of it. Like, you know, the actual like server part of things and the software parts of things, I'm like, I don't know anything about this, but I've kind of ended up being kind of in charge of not scheduling everything, but you know, asking all of the questions of like, hey, what do people want for this server? Like managing the people side of things. I feel like that's kind of where I end up being. Like, I'm not necessarily the person that DMs, but I'm more than happy to do the scheduling and figure out like who's available, who wants to play, what time. But like when it comes to the technical stuff, I'm like, I have no interest in this. I don't want to try and figure out the mechanics of how this is going to work. I'm happy to get the people and ask the questions to people who know how to get it figured out, but I don't want to actually figure out the mechanics of it. I'll manage the people, not the hardware or the logistics. But that just reminded me that I had asked a question there right before I got on the stream, so I'm wondering if people have responded to that in the Discord for the server they're setting up. That we're setting up. It's not really a me thing. It's kind of funny, like it's a small group of people. Like my brother and I had talked about it, and we're like, this would be fun, but we need to find people that would actually want to like be on a server with us and that we trust, like that we know well enough to know that they're not just going to grief. And so we found a few people. So there's like 6 of us in this Discord. And I had someone else say, hey, could like we add, you know, I have someone that I think might be interested in joining. Could we add them? And someone else was like, I don't know, you have to ask Liz. And I'm like, I just because I know everybody here doesn't mean that I'm in charge of this. Like, as long as everybody's cool with it. This is a group project, guys. Just because I'm scheduling does not mean I'm in charge of it. I guess that's really what it is. Like, I did a technical writing class at one point in college, and you know, we were writing stuff for like a website for like a local nonprofit, I think. And we kind of divvied things up, and I ended up being like the group leader, sort of. I was the one that did all the scheduling and that like kind of assigned everything to everyone and checked in with everyone, made sure that, you know, things were happening and, you know, all that kind of I don't know what you'd call it, the management stuff. I kind of ended up doing the management stuff of managing the people, which is funny because I've like always kind of like scheduling is not like I have to think about it, but I guess that it kind of worked out because like as long as that was my job, like, you know, that's as I could do it. But it was funny because I was trying to find some writing examples or something later on. It was a weird graduation requirement that was very annoying to me. But I had asked the teacher, hey, could you sign off on having writing examples? And they were like, sure. Could you send me an example of something that you wrote? Because it was a technical writing class. And I came to the realization, I'm like, I didn't actually write anything for this project. I managed people, I edited stuff, I didn't actually do any of the writing itself. It's like, oh, never mind. Huh. I don't know, it was just like, oh no. I can't remember why did I get on that topic? I was talking about that. Oh, scheduling and people, managing stuff. I don't know. As long as it's my only job, it just takes me time to actually plan things out. I feel like there is a certain amount of work that just comes with just actually sitting down and trying to manage everything, set up some Gantt charts and that sort of thing. Okay, this is getting very close to being mixed. I do want to make sure it's mixed completely. Just because, I want to make sure it sets correctly. If it's not mixed completely, you might have sticky spots, which is not what I want. I'm just gonna scrape the bottom and the sides. Make sure that there's no streaks. Yep, see, there's a little bit of a streak there, so I'm glad that I did that. I'm just gonna scrape everything. It's a little bit of a, that's how you can tell that everything's mixed together completely. If you see any lines and streaks in it, it's not mixed together completely. That's where the two parts are kind of coming together still. And that's why I'm scraping the sides too. I don't want any of one part or the other to stick to the sides. I want to make sure that it's actually mixed completely. Safety dance. Safety dance. Alright, so there's a certain order that I'm kind of going to do these in. I'm going to be doing the space ones last. And the reason for that, I can't hear there, is that the glitter in them, and the blue and everything, is going to try and sink. And so if I do it when it's a little bit thicker, and when it's a little bit closer to setting up, it hopefully will not sink as much. It'll stay suspended a little bit better. So we're going to do those last. And I actually want to do with the ones with the plants and stuff first anyways, because that will give more time for the bubbles to rise to the surface. So there's more spaces for bubbles to get caught with the ones with the plants. There's lots of little areas for air bubbles to get stuck underneath a leaf or anything like that. But I think we're almost good here. Let me just scrape this one last time. Make sure there's nothing stuck anywhere. I still see a little bit of a streak there. Let's scrape that again. I think we're doing pretty good. I think that's pretty good. I tend to overmix mine a little bit, because like I said, I do have a pressure pot, which helps. It takes all the bubbles and squishes them down really, really small so you can't see them. But I still want to avoid, any giant bubbles or anything. But if there's a few extra bubbles in there, it's not going to be a big issue. Just because of the setup I have. Alright, that's looking good. So this is just going to be straight up 30 milliliters. Oh, I don't actually want this container. I want one of these. Just a second here. So the reason I want to grab one of these is because one of these cups is almost exactly 30 milliliters, so I wouldn't be able to mix very well. So I want this. So I'm gonna do some subtraction here. We're gonna take this down to so we're at 100. We're gonna go down to 70. Yep, I can do math. 20. Where are we at? We're down to about 80. And we're down to 70. So there we go, there's our 30 milliliters. And I want this to be a pretty light green. Right? Pretty light green. So we're just gonna take a little tiny bit on here. And try and make this kind of a light green. I might actually go darker. I don't know. It's definitely very light. I don't know if it's even going to read as green. It's definitely a nice light green. Alright, we're putting a full drop in here. Okay. Hopefully I didn't go too far and now make this too dark. But... oh, there, actually, no, I think that'll be perfect. I think that'll be perfect. It's definitely green, but it's light enough that I can see through it. That's what I wanted. This one we're going to do about 15 to 20 milliliters. About 15 actually, because the roses will take up a little bit of space. Not quite 20. And this just has a little bit of gold shimmer in it, and then we're going to break up some of this gold foil in here as well. Just some nice small little gold foil pieces. I might actually want a little bit more gold foil now that I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna grab one more piece of gold foil to add to this. I think I can use a little bit more. Alright. There we go. I think that's probably going to be a little bit better amount of gold foil. And I want kind of small pieces, which is why I'm stirring so vigorously. If I wanted larger pieces, I wouldn't stir it quite as much. Yeah, I think that'll be good. It has a little bit of a gold shimmer to it. I add a little bit of a gold shimmer. And have some gold foil. That'll be good. Break up some of those gold foil pieces a little bit small. Alright. I'm going to add these roses into this so we can start getting some of the air bubbles out of them. You know, I want to make sure that there's no air bubbles trapped around the leaves or the petals and the leaves and everything. So I'm going to put those in there. You can see that they're kind of rising to the surface, and that's because there's quite a bit of air trapped in them. So that's why I'm putting this in here now while the resin's still pretty liquidy. I'm not as worried about the individual petals here. So I'm just gonna they still have air bubbles attached to them, but I can pop those a little bit easier. Alright, there we go. Oops, this has a piece of gold foil attached to it now. Don't need that. Yeah. So I'm going to continue to keep pushing those down, try and get some of these air bubbles out. Until I found that a good indicator for like whether I've gotten a lot of the air bubbles untrapped and stuff is whether they float up to the surface quite as much. And like some of that's just, you know, how thick the resin is and stuff, but usually once I get a lot of the air bubbles out from being trapped, they don't float quite as like quickly and stuff. I can see air bubbles coming to the surface too, which is another good indicator that I'm getting air bubbles out of there. I'm just kind of squishing them a little bit so that I can hopefully get, you know, air squished out. Again, I'm just trying to get air bubbles out. I'm saying that a whole bunch of times, but it's really what I'm working on. I kind of flip things over a bit, try and get things from different angles. I don't know why I'm using my tweezers here necessarily. And let that sit for a moment. Things pushed down. So while those kind of saturate a little bit, got my green resin here. Pulling out my tray over here. Let's start adding our green resin to these plants. So these ones, I wonder if this green's going to be dark enough. I hope it is. Yeah, I think we'll see if it's dark enough. It's a very, very light green. So this is going to take probably a little bit of time for all of the resin to sink down to the bottom of here as well, because there's going to be some air trapped in all of the plants. So we're going to pour this in now. I'll probably have to add some more resin in just a little bit. Now I'm thinking about it, I might need a little bit more. Yeah, see, you can already see I filled this 20 up to the top. You can already see how it's sinking down in there. But that's good. That's why we're doing it now, at the beginning. And then we'll add at the beginning while the resin's still nice and still nice and runny. If it was thicker, this would be a lot harder, because it's a lot harder for the air to get back up to the surface. Hopefully I added enough resin here for the D2. I forgot about that. I don't know how much extra resin that one takes. Okay. I'm going to do everything else before I actually do the D2, just to make sure I have enough resin for it. And because it's thin enough, I'm not too worried about it getting down to the bottom. Let's get these filled in first. Alright. Pop some little bubbles. There's still air rising to the surface. Let me set these off to the side for the moment. While the air rises up. I don't know why I brought all the lids over. Didn't really need those yet. Set these back off to the side. Alright, these ones right here, these have like little crystal clusters in them already. And these are just going to have clear resin added to them, which I have over here. And I probably want, I want air to be able to escape out of here too, so we're going to give this also kind of a moment and kind of pour slowly-ish so that hopefully air bubbles can find their way out. Okay, I'll give that a moment to kind of settle. So when I do like silicone molds, I tend to pour from like one area toward the bottom pretty slowly, and that's so that things will fill in from the bottom and you won't get air bubbles trapped. I'm trying to do that kind of here. I just do one side and then pour kind of slowly so that hopefully it'll fill up from the bottom more so the air bubbles won't get caught underneath the resin as I pour it. There's a cat hair on the lid. Let's get it off there, please. Yeah, and I can see some air bubbles rising from there. We're gonna set these off to the side for now. Let any air rise out of those as well. And also pop these random air bubbles that are in the lid. Okay. So how much do I have left? We've got plenty left for these over here. I've got some, I'm gonna add a little bit more to the green here. It's gonna make it a little bit lighter, but it's all gonna go on top, so I'm not too worried about it. It'll kind of look like an ombre, probably. Hopefully, anyways. Looks like things are getting worked out here. Okay. Well, we can at least get our colors mixed up here for. Get our colors mixed up here for the spacey ones. We go about 12.5 of purple milliliters, that is. I'm gonna go about the same for our blue. I'm gonna go about 5 for the red, but I'm actually gonna go probably about 7.5. I'm gonna add a little bit more to the other two as well. So I'm gonna have a little bit extra so that I can do the extra D4 and the D2. Although now that I'm thinking about it, I want to have enough for this. How much do I have here? I don't know. Do I have enough? Let's see if I have enough resin to do my single D4, because that's also important at the moment. I might, actually. I might have just enough to also do the D4 that I needed to do. Alright. Yeah, that'll be plenty for that. Cool. I think I ended up with kind of just the right amount. I have just a little bit of, I'll let that settle because we might need a little bit more over here, but I think we're probably going to be good. But let's mix up our purple. There's always something satisfying about just mixing in the colors. And again, we're going to wait a little bit until I actually put these into the molds, and that's so that the glitter and everything doesn't completely sink to the bottom. I might actually want pipettes for these now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, this one's going to have a drop of this. It's going to look green at first, but it's going to turn blue as I stir it. Let's see how much I need to add any more. No, I think that's going to be good. I was wondering if I needed to add, if I was going to need to add any more. Oh, that's sticky. Why is it sticky there? Oh dear. Why is it sticky? I don't want resin on my arm. It's not good for you. I was wondering if I was going to need to add any more of the alcohol ink, but I think this is probably dark enough. I'm liking the just kind of little bit of glitter in there. I think that's kind of nice. It's not too much, not too little. And then we got our red over here. We're going to add a drop of red. Did I not grab a thing to stir that? Oh well. Got a nice vibrant red. And it's like, it looks like these are kind of even now. They're not going to be in the dice, and part of that is just because, like it's so sticky. Part of that is just because the purple's opaque, so it's going to actually show up more than the other two. And I'm going to do a little bit less red than the blue, so it's probably going to be kind of purple forward a little bit, and then the blue, and then a little bit of red. That's the idea, anyways. Oh, actually, I might want a little bit. I might want a little bit of glitter in the red. And a little bit of the glitter to the red. Just a little bit. We'll put some hollow in there as well. That'll be nice. Help tie it in with everything. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Alright. And then let's mix up our D4, and we'll get this one all put together as well. So I have some phthalo blue here, which is kind of a purplish blue, which I really like. I feel like it's a really pretty blue color. I don't know, it kind of looks more blue on screen even than it does in front of me. It is blue, definitely, but it's kind of it's like a very purplish blue. I'm going to add even more purple. So I want this to look a little bit more purple. So, and this isn't going to be this isn't really an accurate representation of the color that it's going to be. Because the purple, I've noticed, it turns more vibrant once the resin cures. I wonder if maybe I should add just a little bit of purple mica as well. I think I might add just a little tiny bit of purple mica as well. Like just a little tiny bit. Little tiny bit. With a little bit of purple. I'm gonna see if that changes the color a little bit as well. I think that's nice. Like, it still looks like it's that blue color, but it has kind of like a purple shimmer to it now, which is just kind of fun. There's like a kind of purple shimmery swirl through the blue almost. That's the fun thing about mixing the mica powders, is like sometimes it does that where instead of just like becoming the new color, it kind of becomes like a swirl of the two colors. Add a little bit more of this purple. So it's not like a more purple blue now, it's just kind of a swirl of that blue and of the purple that I just added. It's somehow simultaneously those two colors now. There we go. That's looking nice, I think. It's going to probably still look very blue for you guys. My webcam makes everything look a lot bluer, but there's a purple quality to it now. Yeah, see, it looks very blue on camera. But I swear, there's purple in there. Maybe one more drop of this purple too. Okay. And we'll call that good. Yeah, I'd say that's definitely purple now. Definitely purple now. And this is just going to be a blank, little blank D4. That I'm going to then paint and add to a D4 die. I guess it's just a little pyramid. It's not even just a blank D4, it's a little pyramid. Okay. Set that over there in the tray. Got some extra resin there, which might get added to this. And add a little bit to this. Just to even things out a little bit, and then that's probably going to get put in those crystals. Alright, let's top off these kind of mossy planty ones. It is a slightly lighter green now that I have, but that's okay. these on here. I'm going to spritz these down with a little bit of rubbing alcohol too, and that should help break the surface tension and pop some bubbles that are on the surface of all these. That's the idea anyways. These do have some surface bubbles still, but this one needs a little bit more resin. I want the tops to be domed with resin just a little bit because when I put these in the pressure pot, it's going to squish all those bubbles down really, really small. And I want to make sure that I have enough resin to fill in that space, basically. Add that to the D2, let that kind of fill in. That size fill in. And then we put this on our lids here. So I just want to make sure that like no air gets trapped in like these numbers and stuff. There's my tweezers. Make sure there's no random stuff on the lids too. Alright. Still got a little bit of resin here, which is good, because I probably will need just a little bit more for a couple of these. Because there is still bubbles rising up to the surface. I'm going to push this back in place though. Trying to make sure I have all my moss inside the boundaries of the die here. Got our flowers over here. Let me make sure that we're still getting air out of here. I see a couple bubbles still. Alright. Trying to get all that air worked out. It's not always the easiest. Kind of just push against things until air bubbles appear. Sometimes they're just in there though, hard to find. Yeah, like this one just keeps floating. That one just keeps floating. Alright. Alright. Cool. So those are looking a little bit better. So let's put those into the molds. There's still air working their way out, but that's just going to happen. Alright, I grabbed these out so I could actually use them, and I didn't actually use them. Alright. I think this will be nice. Like I said, I don't think I've done any plants in any fate dice yet, and I really like doing florals, so that's just kind of a shame. I think part of it is just that like a lot of the like pre-made fate dice and stuff that I've done have just been kind of like, oh, I have extra resin, I should go put that into something. Or it's a case of I don't know what I want to actually make, so we're just going to do like a dirty pour or something, because I know how to do those. So it takes like a little bit more. It doesn't really take a lot more thought. Like obviously I just pulled some stuff off the shelf. It's just like, excellent, we're gonna do a dirty pour, or we're gonna do some florals. But like if something's not right in front of me, I forget that it exists. Like I'm like a baby. I have no object permanence. And so I have to like look over to see the plants over there, so I just forget that they exist instead of, you know, the colors that are right in front of me. I'm distracted by the bright shiny colors in front of me. So I don't know. I have to actually remember to pull out the plants and stuff. The reason I remembered this time is because I was doing a set with plants in it anyways. Which worked out. Oh, wait, I have some petals here. Let's add those as well. This big one here. I like having like a few petals that are just kind of floating and stuff too. I feel like it adds to it. It kind of gives it some more depth. So like if you're looking at it from a different angle, it's like something's flying out. I don't know. Something pretty about that, I think. That one already has a big one. I can put this one here. Alright, there we go. Got that all done. And then we're going to put some on the lids like we did for the others. And we'll let these sit for a minute for air to rise to the surface as well. Alright. A bit of extra resin there. I'll add this to the tray. Oops. Let's see how this is doing. There's still a few air bubbles. There's a couple of air bubbles on here. Let me press everything down again. Get all the air bubbles on the surface here all popped, hopefully. I can see one here. Oh, good, it popped. So I want to do the same thing here. I want there to be a little bit of extra resin, just so that when I put it in the pressure pot, you know, there's some extra resin to take up the space of where the air bubbles are. All right. Got this over here. I'm going to line these up. I don't think we're going to do these yet. I want to wait for the resin to get just a little bit thicker first. I think we'll find some pipettes though. I'll find some pipettes here. There's some pipettes over here. If I don't run into everything. So, a pipette for the red. One for the blue, one for the purple. So, like I said, I'm waiting because this is still rather runny. I want it to be a little bit thicker before I pour this in because it'll help the glitter stay suspended. If I put this in right now, all the glitter is going to sink to the bottom. So I gotta wait a little bit. It's a bit of a balancing act. If I wait too long, it'll be too thick by the time that I get to the end, and it'll be kind of a pain to work with. And then we're gonna wait a minute just to make sure everything else over here has all of their bubbles popped on top and in the lids here. The air bubbles like to get trapped in like the zeros and like the 8s and that sort of stuff. Let's get that stuff all cleaned up now while we're waiting for the resin to thicken up. We might be able to get some of these lids on even. Make sure that we have enough resin as well. Oops, that's not the right thing. Alright. All looking pretty good with the light green. Oh, let me go around here. There's a cat hair on this D8 one though. I'm going to add a little bit more light green here to the D6. It looks like it could use a little bit more. Like I said, I'm doming it up a little bit. D12. And like honestly, you know, these probably have enough, but we'll have just a little bit more to the D12 and the D20 as well. And I'm going to spread everything down again. Get some of these air bubbles off the surface. some of these I'm just going to put the lid on, like this D4. I think we're probably good. I think we're probably, I don't see too many air bubbles. It's pretty thin. Just put the lid on that. And let's look at this. This could use a little bit more clear. Which is why I kept a little bit of clear for this one. And how's this one looking? That one probably has enough, but we'll add a little bit of a drop to this one as well. Okay, both of those are looking good. There's I maybe just added a couple more bubbles, so we'll let those sit for another second there. So some of these are starting to look pretty good. I think our D8 here is looking pretty good. Maybe a little bubble in the corner. I'll just pop that out and get the lid on here. Oof. There's definitely enough resin there. It's squished out a little bit. I don't want to press it down too much, but you know, there's definitely enough resin there if it's all squishing. Alright, this one we'll see how this turns out. I worry that like all the plants in here are going to like move a little bit and end up kind of overlapping, which could make sanding this kind of a pain, but we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. Alright, got the lid on there. Got the lid on there at any rate. How's this D10 doing? Looks like there's some bubbles in the lid, but otherwise, so it's looking pretty good. Alright. And make sure things don't like move around too much. As this D10, it's also looking pretty good. So a little bubble in the corner here, but we can work that out pretty easy before I put the lid on. Oof. There's a little bit of resin kind of squishing out. Like I said, I don't want to press it down too hard. So I want there to be extra resin there, but you know, I want there to be enough. I want the lid to be sitting in the right spot. That's really the important part here. So the lid is going to fall down in the correct spot, so that with some gravity. Alright. Hopefully all of these turn out too. Sometimes things just have a surprise air pocket in them too, and they just don't turn out. And sometimes that's just the way it goes, which is unfortunate, but you know, it happens. There's some of this stuff down. I still see some air bubbles in this one, so we're gonna get that in a moment. D12 and the D20 have a couple air bubbles on the surface, but we'll spritz those down again. And they're looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Although the cat hair there is not looking pretty good. Let's get that out of there. Yeah, it's still attached to there, but that's fine. Alright. D12. There's like a bunch of air bubbles just kind of around the corners here, but again, I can pop those. This is a big chunky lid. I don't remember that one. Huh. Let's look at this. I'm just stacking everything up. Alright, here's the fate dice again with the roses in them. And actually the roses seem to be staying down pretty well. There is some bubbles that have started to rise to the surface, which is not surprising, but let's make sure I get those out before I put the lid on. Alright, those are looking pretty good. It's stopped floating quite so much. I think we might be good. Like I said, the big indicator, like when they're floating a whole bunch, that's usually a pretty good indicator that there's a lot of air in them. I seem to not be rising to the surface quite as quickly as before, so that's good. Alright, just making sure that the lid is on there. I don't want to press down on it, but I want to make sure that, like I said, the lid is in the correct spot. There's that. How are these looking? Let's spritz these down again. Oh, come on. There's some air bubbles on the surface here. Get out. Just gonna pull those out myself then. Alright, there's a bubble in the D6 lid. I think things are starting to get a little bit thicker now, maybe, I'm not sure. Let's put these on here. Oh, come on. Yeah, it looks like that's the right spot. And we got a D8. Is there a big air bubble there? I can't tell. So this has a whole bunch of like little crystals in it that I made. I'm trying to see if there's an air bubble caught underneath one of them. And I can't really tell. It's a little bit hard to see. We're just gonna hope for the best. Sometimes I'm gonna do that too. If I've got to remake it, I've got to remake it. That's just the way it's gonna go. Alright, how's this D6 looking? There's still an air bubble just trapped in the middle of this thing. See if I can get that out. Actually, here, I'm gonna use this. This is that same green color. There we go. Just gonna pull that up to the surface. Give that a second to rise a little bit more even, and then we'll press that down. Make sure there's no bubbles on the lid. Looks like things are popping now. Alright. Alright, we got that lid on. Alright. Let's start worrying about these. Let's see how thick these have gotten. Like I said, I want them to be a little bit thicker. They're still pretty thin. Still pretty thin. Still pretty thin. That's unfortunate. So we're just gonna, it's getting a little bit warm. It's weird, like I haven't had my resin get super warm before, I feel like. I feel like it's been happening more recently for some reason. Like just the past few times that I've mixed up resin, it's actually gotten warm. Well, that is percolating. Well, that's percolating. Well, we'll fill in some crystals with the leftover. I've got leftover resin here. We'll make some purple crystals. I'm putting together a bunch of crystals. I had someone reach out and ask for some because I had made some that I was going to. Well, I still plan to put into some dice. Make some like crystal cluster dice. I had someone ask if I could make some for them. So I'm just kind of, I've been, miscellaneous colors, so I've just been using my various crystal molds here as stump molds to make a whole bunch of, various colored crystals. Alright. And I do like this purple color. And I might try and make like another crystal D4 too. I try to make like a spare D4 for every pre-made set that I have. Just because I try to send like an extra D4, just a miscellaneous one with all my orders. There we go. So I'm just going to fill this in. with this purple, and then I think I'll steal some of this purple. Let's steal some of this purple for the another D4. Oh, there's another little spot here. Alright. There's those filled in. I'm gonna grab my new mold, crystal D4 mold that I just pulled out today. We'll break that in. I should do something with this color. I really like this mix of like the phthalo blue and like the purple. So it has like a kind of a blue shine to it. But it's like purple and then it has kind of like a blue shine to it. It's just really pretty. So let's put the rest of this into this mold here. I do have a mold that has like some dark blue in it too. A different D4. So if we have some leftover resin to go in there, I might do that as well. Alright. Make sure that's full all the way. Looks like it is. So I need a little bit more of some sort of color in here, but this one's going to be mostly this pretty blue color. Let's see if we have any of the spacey colors left once we're done. Oh, or I could just use the clear with gold. I think we'll do that. We're going to add some of this clear and gold foil, and I'm going to swirl it all up because I feel like that'll be pretty. A little bit of that to the lid. Excellent. Got that all figured out. I'm going to set this over here for it to have air bubbles work their way out as well. This one is like a really dark blue, black color. We'll do this one with the slightly shimmering gold as well. Finish that off in here. Just because I feel like that wouldn't make very exciting crystals. So we're just going to put it in here. Put it in with a different D4 that we'll use as a spare. Alright, there we go. There's that. I've still got some green left. That might make some interesting crystals. I don't know. It's a very, very light green color. Maybe I'll add some more green, actually. Anyway, I'm just going to add another drop of the green. Another drop of the green. And so it'll be a little bit darker. I think that'll be better for some crystals. Yeah, see, that's a little bit better. It's a little bit darker. I think it'll actually read as green now instead of just like off-white. Or off-clear, I guess. It's not even off-white, it's off-clear. Now it's actually green looking. Oh, thanks. I like this one. I got a 3-pack of did I ever show you guys? I got a 3-pack of different green colors because my green didn't work very well. And they're all very nice in different ways, which is great. This one's kind of like a more yellowish green, and then there's like a very, very dark green, and then there's kind of like a really bright green. So it's a good combo. And they're actually green. That's the real important part here. Since I didn't have a green. Now, my next thing I need to get is an alcohol ink that's red. They're the Ranger ones, so it's Ranger Moss, Everglades, and Mojito. I got it as a 3-pack. And they're good green colors. Oh, do you not have a real green either? Yeah, no, I can show you the paint. I'll take a photo of the little test chips that I did, and I'll send that to you. you might have to remind me on Twitter, but I can send you a photo of what they look like too. Since I do little paint chips of all of my colors for references. Yeah, I know. I just had the Okay, that sounds like a good plan. I have the rainforest green. What is this one? The Pinata rainforest green, and it's not green. It's the one that I'm using for this blue. that's the rainforest green. Yeah. I was also tired of not having a real green. So I've been very excited about these three because they've all been really good, like true to color greens. And well, the thing is, I've had that green, and then I tried getting like a resin pigment green color, and it wasn't green either. Like I've had like 3 different greens that just weren't green. It's like, no, why? Why are none of these green? These are all just like really kind of tealy blue colors. But these ones are good. These ones are good. Alright, there's some greens. How are these looking? Yep, these are getting a little bit thicker, I think. That's good. Yeah, I think these are getting thicker. I don't know if they're thick enough, but I think we should maybe start now, because I think they will be thick enough by the time we get to the end. So I worry that if I wait too much longer, they're going to be too thick by the time I get to the end. Yeah, these are thick enough. So I'm going to start probably with the blue, at least in the D20. So I'm going to do kind of like soft layers, sort of. I'm going to do like little drops of each sort of thing. Just a little bit of each color at a time. I think that'll end up being nice. Yeah, we'll see how these turn out. I think these will be nice. And then the purple's turned brown. Yeah, no, I have a good purple, but it's not an alcohol ink. But yeah, so that is something that I've run into as well. With the purple's turning brown. Sorry, I've gotten distracted by adding red to these. Okay. Add some purple. Purple. Yeah. No, I've had that issue too with my purple alcohol ink. I really don't use my purple alcohol ink much anymore, unless I'm doing a like a dirty pour and also adding white, in which case it works out fine. But yeah, no, yeah. They turn brown. They turn brown. And that's purple. Oh, I don't think I have any purple over here yet. Do you have a good like red color that you've used? Like I said, I don't actually have a red alcohol ink. I have a very nice bright pink. Yeah, sometimes the brown is okay, other times, yeah. No, I'd agree with that. It's definitely like a specific look. The brown is. It's just like, that's what you're going for, sure, but otherwise, That's my blue. I need to add some red because I haven't added any red in a while. I feel like the red's almost thicker than the other ones. It's kind of weird. A little bit more red. If not, no worries. I was just curious too. the time, yikes, yeah. I've also, like, I've debated looking for, like, a good brown alcohol ink, but I figure I can make brown, too, so that seems kind of strange, I guess, for me to do. Like a good red and a good brown. To be fair, those were colors that I was looking for good, mica powders for a while, too. I didn't actually have a good red or a good brown for those. Your Let's Resin red is nice. Oh, okay, cool. I'll look into that. If you want to maybe message me on Twitter about that too, so that I don't forget, because I will forget. Oh dear. Let's do some more blue. I don't actually want too much red. That's looking pretty good. Let's add some more purple. So, like I said, I may end up doing the numbers in red on these. And actually, I think the red and the blue are kind of mixing together enough. This is going to end up good, but... Two other colors. Oh, okay, cool. That'd be great, thank you. Let's add some more purple. This is something I've started doing kind of recently. Not necessarily, I don't know if I've started doing it recently, but something that I realized sort of recently is that in the sets where, like, I'm doing multiple colors like this, or I'm doing like red and blue and purple, like quite often it's nice to have kind of a mix of the translucents and the translucents and the opaques, like having this nice opaque purple with the translucent blue and the translucent red. Like, I don't know. There's something nice about the mix, and I feel like it especially works with stuff like this. I did a different set that had blue and green and purple. And in that set I did the purple and the green in opaque and the blue in translucent. And I feel, and the reason I did the blue in translucent is because there's blue in both green and purple. And so if the translucent color ended up in front of either of those colors, they'd still look green or purple. But if I ended up with like translucent green in front of purple, it would not look good. But I still have some more red because I'm running low on the blue. I don't know, there was something about it that just ended up looking really nice with the mix. And so that's why I'm doing this kind of like this, with all the colors, but the purple is opaque. Yeah, for some reason, like, this red seems so much thicker than the blue and the purple. I don't know why. It's so strange. I wonder if it's like, I don't know what it is. This is definitely getting thicker though. Yeah, let's add a little bit more purple here. And a little bit to the lid. A little bit to the lid. A little bit more purple here. And a little bit to the lid. Alright, I think I need to add some more blue. And a couple of these. A couple blue here. And that one's done. Blue on the lid. That one, blue on the lid. This one has a lot of purple and red. Alright. As we get towards the end here, I might just start scraping some of the stuff into the molds. Oh, my nose is kind of sniffy, which is not great with the respirator on. I don't actually want that on there. Oh. Alright, so I'll add some more red to these ones. I still got quite a bit of red. I'm running low on the blue now, so we're going to add more red, more purple. And actually, I'm going to start clearing out. Oh, thank you. Excellent. Thank you. Start clearing out the pipettes here too a little bit. Alright. We're getting close to the end here, so we should have enough. We should have enough of all the colors. Let's add some more here. It obviously needs it. This one needs some blue. This one needs some blue. And the red. Let's add a little bit of blue to the lid to all of these. Make sure that we actually have some at the end. That's also important. You know, as long as I have blue on both ends, it should be okay. It'll look intentional that way. Okay. Excellent. Now we can actually add blue. I want to get all of it out of the pipette, and we'll just start spooning it in now that it's towards the top. It won't. It'll be easier. Okay. Put that off to the side for now. Ah. Yeah, it's definitely getting thicker because my fingers are getting stuck. Alright, we're adding stuff to the lids now. I'm going to start clearing out these pipettes as well. And not to add too much of any one color at a time, because I do want, you know, kind of like loose layers, sort of swirls in all of these. I want them to blend together a little bit. I don't want like just a big giant chunk of blue or a big giant chunk of purple and that sort of stuff. Alright, time for red. These are starting to look pretty full, which is good. But I want to add a little bit of red to the lids as well. Not too much. Not too much. But at least get it out of the pipette here. Yeah, I think these are going to be pretty. I think these will end up pretty. This is. Oh gosh. I mean, I don't know. What time do you usually go to bed and get up? That's really the question here. Like, is that. It concocted so much of your paladin. Excellent. I don't actually know what I'm going to do with all that red. I mean, now I'm tempted to do like a D4, a D2, and a keychain though. Should I do that? Because I feel like I have extra resin. Or I will at any rate. I've got to finish filling in this D20 first. A little bit of red. Alright, yeah, these should all be good. Let me, you have to be ready for stream by noon. Maybe it's time to go to bed then, yeah. Thanks for stopping by though, Scribe. I'm glad you could come chat for a bit. I know our stream schedules don't always line up with time zones. Like, I'm still asleep when you start streaming, and then I start streaming, and it's time for you to go to bed. But you decided to play Eladrin Elf? Is Eladrin the name, or did you just time zones? Yeah. To be fair, I've been debating maybe switching it up a little bit, and one of my days maybe starting a little bit earlier. I don't know. I'm still deciding on that. Still deciding on things. maybe once I can see people again, I might start doing like Saturday ones earlier so that I can have Saturday nights to go have dinner and stuff with friends. But we'll see. It really depends on schedules and stuff. Oh, I hear a kitty cat racing through my house upstairs. You just want to try playing D&D? Wait, what do you mean you just want to try playing D&D? Oh, is that what's preventing you from, is time zones what's causing problems for you playing D&D? Oh, I guess you've played other tabletop games. You're doing like Vampire the Masquerade right now, aren't you? I did say earlier that like someone suggested that maybe I try doing like a D&D one shot on my channel at some point. To be fair, that's an idea that you could steal. If you wanted to do like a D&D one shot on your channel or something, you know, I'll come play. I don't really like playing online, but like I'd be down for doing that. But yeah, I had someone suggest that I do like a D&D one shot on my channel, but that would require me to actually like get things figured out for that, and or find people in DMs and stuff. But you know, that's something that, or you know, that'd be fun to do something. You have no clue what to do. Same. That's the real issue, isn't it? I think these are gonna be pretty. I think these. I don't know if I'll really be able to see the colors there. You can kind of see the colors there. But you can see the red a little bit. Yeah, I don't know how to set up something like that, to be honest. I'd have to do a lot of research into it. But yeah, this will be fun. Or, you know, if you want to get a group together to just try and play it at some point online, not on stream or anything. Yeah, I like this purple too. I think it looks really good with the red and the blue as well. Like if you look at this lid, like it really makes like that red shine. With that purple behind it. I think these are gonna be pretty. I think these are gonna be pretty. But yes, if you ever want to get a group together to try and play D&D, you know, hit me up. I'd be down for doing a one shot or something. You need to continue your purple hunt. Oh, for like a purple pigment. To be fair, this purple is a mica powder. But all right, I'm gonna spritz these down. I'm actually probably gonna head off for the night here soon as well. I'm almost done with things. Yeah, one that isn't brown. I guess I have a good purple pigment, but it's not an alcohol ink, so it behaves a little bit differently. Purple here. So, you know, if you're curious about what resin pigment I got, I can hit you up with that, but it is different from doesn't behave the same as the alcohol inks. I can't really use it for like a dirty pour type thing like I would with the alcohol inks. Alright. Alright, have a good night. Have a good night. I'm just finishing up here. I'm gonna fill in these crystal molds with a little bit of extra resin. I'm gonna put the blue, I think, in here. Should I do a keychain as well? Should I do a D2, a D4, and a keychain? It's an option. Because I'm gonna start doing. No, I don't think so. I think that'd be. I don't think. I need all three. We'll just do the two, because I don't know that I'll have enough resin to do all three all the time. So we'll just go for two. That might change over time, because like, you know, the regular sets of dice are going to end up having a D2 and an extra D4 with them. Like, not an extra D2, but like just the regular D2. and a D4 with them, so like maybe a keychain would be good just as like a little extra thing, but at the same time, like the Fate Fudge. Quick question, anyone know a flower that blooms in spring? Hyacinth? Those bloom in spring, I believe. They're pretty early spring. Tulips? Pretty sure or tulips in summer. I think tulips are in spring. Tulips. A lot of flowers bloom in spring. Jonquils. Pretty much most of those do, I think. Like, oh, I don't even know what all of them are called. I don't know a lot about plants, but I think they're pretty, so. There is certain flowers that also bloom in, like, you know, the winter and stuff too, but I feel like a lot of them do bloom in spring. Are you looking for any more specifications beyond just blooming in spring? That's my real question here, because like I said, there's a lot. I can't think of, there's a certain kind that blooms in my yard like early spring, and I can't remember what it's called now. California poppies are more summer. Yeah, I really like hyacinths and grape hyacinths. I'm just thinking of things that bloom around here in the spring. So like, what have I seen bloom? Let's do some red. Oops. Why is there so much cat hair on here? There's so much cat hair. Get out. Out, damn spot. Ooh, hyacinths are also good symbolism. I like hyacinths. I have a soft spot for grape hyacinths because like they were one of the flowers that always grew in the yard when I was a kid. Like at my parents' house, there's always like grape hyacinths and California poppies, and there's just a ton of them, and they're so pretty. But the California poppies, I think, are blooming more now. They're more of a summer thing. But who knows what time of year it is. We have like a week of spring here, let's be honest. That's what it feels like anyways. We have winter, we have a week of spring, and then we have summer. Like, you know, it's in the 70s for like a week, and then suddenly it's like 95 degrees out. It's like, oh, seriously? Alright, these are definitely, towards the end, I think. Alright, so that's completely as well. This is good. I'm getting some crystals made as well, which I wanted to get done. Got another crystal D4. I'll do another crystal D4. They're just useful to have. I guess I could do a different die too. What do I need? Let's do something else in purple. Let's do a D10. Let's do a D10. So what are you using flowers for, Jen? I'm assuming a drawing of some sort or character design or something? Alright, let me fill this in purple. And then we'll get the lids on and we'll call this good, I think. Where did that glitter come from? Oh well. There's apparently a piece of glitter in here that I didn't know. Let's see. I have a paladin who used to worship the goddess of nature and is an eladrin, seasonal aesthetic elf, so I want her last name to reflect a cool flower. Ah, okay. That makes sense. I'm the same way when it comes to like D&D names, where I'm just like, okay, what is my character, like, what is their motif or backstory or something about their race or something like that. I'm like, okay, what is a word that would make sense with this? Or I go look up like names that mean sunshine type thing. Like I'm that person when it comes to D&D character names. You know, I don't know. I'm that person that likes name symbolism, I guess. Like, it's fun when it's fun to do like some name foreshadowing too, because like other people don't really look into like the other characters' names and stuff usually, and that's why like when I was playing Eamon, who was working for the big bad, he was a lot of fun to play. I looked up like demon names. That's why his name was Eamon. Because I looked up like demon names and it was one of the ones on the list. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That seems like a cool name. It seems like it's not too noticeable. It's not like super demonic sounding or anything. That's perfect. No one will know unless they look up this name. I feel like I'm giving away too much now. If people ever play D&D with me, whether they should look up my character's name or not. That's this isn't name related really, but something that I've said before, or I don't know if I said it on stream or not, but I've said before, is I need like, I think there's like 3 main things that I need to be like comfortable RPing a character, like a D&D character. And that is some sort of tangible goal, something that I'm working towards. A flaw of some sort, something that like, and that could be almost anything, so just some sort of flaw. And then a secret of some sort, so that's just fun. So like for Eamon, for example, his goal was to lead the party to the Lich. That was his goal. His flaw, he was very hedonistic, which was fun to play. That's really what the flaw is for, is that they're just fun. It's just fun to play a character with a flaw. It's just something fun about it. So he was super hedonistic, and then his secret was that he was working for the Lich. But and like Gwen, my paladin, she had a tangible goal. She was looking for her girlfriend who had gone missing. She had her flaw was, so like on her character sheet for personality traits I had written down confident, and for her flaw I had written down overconfident. Like she was very much your stereotypical jumping into battle, I shall protect you, paladin. And so that was really fun to play too, with just, yes, onwards into battle, and she'd just like jump into situations without even thinking about them. Her wisdom was pretty low, I think. And then for like a secret, I had a couple. One of them, one of them was that she was a gal. She was masquerading as a male knight, to try and stay undercover. Because she was on the run, because she had been betrothed to this other guy and had run away. So like she had like a couple of secrets there. So that was, you know, fun to play as well. You know, like, I'm not good necessarily at like trying to figure out how my character would think on the fly, but if I have that sort of stuff as a background, you know, it gives me a direction to go in almost any situation. Because either I'm usually doing something related to one of those things, or and then there's a couple of other things that I feel like are nice to add, like some sort of hobby or profession. I feel like that always adds to a character, at least for me. Really, why is that not sitting down correctly? Alright, let's put something on top of that, I think. Yeah, adding a hobby or profession gives, I feel like, the character something to do when they're not working towards their goal or trying to keep their secret or something like that. And sometimes those can be tied together. Sometimes it could be like a hobby and a career or something like that too. Okay, this is getting very, very thick. I'm very much getting to the end of my work time now. I think I timed this almost perfectly, which is I'm impressed with myself because that doesn't always happen. I'm going to try out our new DT mold here. Let's put this underneath one of these maybe. I'm going to try and stack a couple things. Ooh, I mean not stick my finger in them. That would be good too. Alright. We've got our I don't know, is there something specific that you do to get yourself ready to play a character? Like, is there anything specific, any specific piece of information that you feel like you need to get into character for a character? I'm curious. Curious if it lines up with my things, or if you have something different. Oh. Oh, my nose itches. Oh. Alright, I'm just going to get these last couple of lids on. Like I said, I'm wrapping things up because these are getting rather sticky near the end of the work time. So I'm going to wrap things up for tonight. So thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. I do stream every Wednesday and Saturday night, if any of you don't know. So if you ever want to stop by and hang out again, that's when and where you can find me. Here, I guess, is where, but that's when you can find me. Same time, same place. I don't know exactly what we're going to do on Saturday yet. We might try making some jumbo dice. I'm not sure yet. But if you want to stay up to date with that sort of stuff, you can join the Discord that's in my About section. That's where I usually keep things for the stream like up to date. But otherwise, let me get this last lid on here, and we're gonna call it a night so I can go put these in the pressure pot. But hopefully, I'll see you guys again soon. Yeah. Bye.